Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Condon, representing TooMedToo. We've got your fix. And the live chat is back up and running after a little bit of technical difficulties that we had to take about a month off. Um, and we're back and bigger and better than ever. What a way to come back. We are now using StreamYard. So instead of just coming on and chatting with me and me staring at the computer, waiting for you to type something so I can answer, you can actually jump right in. If I know you or you want to come on and talk with me, the more the merrier. So, with that being said, the reason that today we have a very special guest. Today we have Dominic Pace. Dominic, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely happy to be here, and hello to all your listeners. Thanks for having me. What an exciting week.
Okay. I'm sure most of you, if you're watching this, already know Dominic is going to be on the Mandalorian. That starts in just a couple hours if you're watching this live. Well, that's the whole thing, too. We don't know when it starts. We know it starts tomorrow. We don't know when the service starts. We know the service starts tomorrow, but it's going everywhere between. You're in California. I'm in New York, so it's 5:30 there for you. It's 8:30 here. It's rumored to start at 12 o'clock midnight, so 12:01. It's rumored to start at 6 a.m. for us, so you'll get it. You're 3 hours behind. Then no one knows what time the service starts, and then no one knows what time the Mandalorian starts on it. Does it start just like Netflix, where it starts and it's on, or is it a Hulu thing where it starts and it's on? Or do you have some insider information that you can give us?
From what I understand, I thought it was 6 a.m. East Coast time, and then it'll be consistent throughout the nation. But that could be just one source. But that's what was my understanding there.
Okay, just because there were people saying that's what the Disney Plus clock said. Something Countdown said. Another article that came out today with CNET said it started at 12:01, which is really messing up a lot of viewing parties because I'm going to someone's house to watch it at a viewing party tomorrow night, which means I need to stay off Twitter and Facebook all day tomorrow, which for me is going to be tough, especially since I took the day off for this. But it will give me a chance to catch up on some videos and making some content while I wait. But so, all right. Anyways, Dominic, so you're starting in the Mandalorian. Not starting. You're in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, please.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
We don't want Mickey Mouse knocking on the door saying, "Hey, what are you trying to pull here?"
Yeah. No, I understand it. It's just for me. Listen, you're a star in Hollywood. Whether you think so or not, or other people, that's how I feel because once I realized who you were, I don't want to offend you, but I think you're one of those people that people might not know your name, but when they see you, they're like, I know that guy. He was in this. I've seen him in that. Or when they see you in a show, they're like, he was in that other show. Because you have a pretty illustrious career.
I'm a New Yorker myself, so you have to build tough skin in order to be a part of this business. But we've never put ourselves in any type of light that we don't consider ourselves in reality. I mean, I've been a blue collar actor, working actor, a lot of supporting roles, featured in The Mandalorian, which obviously as a Star Wars fan is such a dream come true. But in no way, shape, or form, I don't expect the world to know my name. I've been kind of under the radar. In a way, it's actually worked in my favor because I've been able to play different types of roles. I don't get typecast. I think now, of course, even with this featured opportunity in Star Wars, I may. But at the same time, it'll be a warm welcome because I've just been a diehard Star Wars fan my entire life there. So all good things, and just happy to be able to have a 20-plus career as a character actor in television, mostly in American TV.
Okay. Now, you're from New York. You started off, did you always want to be an actor? Were you in theater as a kid?
We had the High School Musical Grease and typical Italian fare. I played Danny Zuko in my junior year in high school. So that's where I kind of caught the bug. But ultimately, growing up with the 80s movies, the same movies that you grew up with, Goonies, E.T., Star Wars, the music of John Williams, which was so inspirational, just kind of pulled at your heartstrings. And also so many amazing performances, namely Harrison Ford, who has always been my idol. To have that level of conviction and power and energy to be able to express oneself in such an amazing way, that was a huge inspiration as a child. I just did not make it legitimate until I was about 17 years old. I went to college up in Poughkeepsie, New York for 1 year, but I was commuting down to the city probably 2 or 3 times a week, just going for commercial auditions, getting one of the actors' trades called backstage. And then I told my mom after my freshman year that I wanted to go ahead and pursue it full time. There's not been one day that's been easy. There's a tremendous amount of blue collar jobs I've had to take on in order to keep it going. But I have no shame. I've been very prideful in terms of what I've accomplished. This is not a business to where sometimes the 99% of us make a full living, but it's these little moments of gold, and specifically this week, which means so much to me in terms of being able to achieve those little tiny dreams. And again, to be featured in Star Wars is something beyond my wildest dreams, just as a lifelong fan.
Yeah, I mean, kind of on different levels, but when it comes to podcasters, or no one knows who I am. There's only a couple people watching this chat right now. I get 40 or 50 views. I used to get a lot more when I started off, but then I took a break for a year and kind of lost everybody. I'm waiting for them to come back. But then I got you to come on and talk with me, and that was, I was telling everybody it was a highlight for me, and it was great. And then actually I got a call today from one of the Disney publicists and said, "Hey, can you do you want to do an interview? Can you do an interview with George Mann?" So I did an interview with George Mann this afternoon. He wrote the Myths and Fables book. Mm-hmm. So, I might never do an interview again, maybe unless you're, but I got 2 in today. So that's a great day for me.
And that's what it's about. Again, you just have to appreciate the small victories. A lot of people in this town, I don't feel are really happy in general. And to me, the key to life is happiness. You appreciate those small little victories. We're all not Hugh Jackman. We may all not be there, but sometimes just to be able to touch it, kind of the Rudy Rudiger moment in many ways, I think it's just priceless. You have somebody like Rudy Rudiger, where you've been able to play in the major leagues even once or twice. It's just a dream come true. I've had the opportunity to do it over 100 times. Who knows how many times we'll do it again, but at the same time, I'm very content in what I've achieved, as you should be. And as those who are struggling out there, just trying to fight and get those little glimpses of their dream, don't give up, and also be very prideful in terms of what you've already accomplished.
So, and you've always been a Star Wars fan. Since
lifelong. When I was 5 years old, I grew up in a town called Ossining, New York. I grew up in a single family home. My mom, we didn't have too much money, so those 12 original figures, that Cantina playset was absolutely priceless for me in terms of building my imagination, my creativity, not to mention the amazing music of John Williams. And then, of course, the amazing experience and the effect that Empire Strikes Back in the theater had on me back in 1980 there. It was just one of the greatest films of all time, in my opinion, and it still sticks with me today.
Yeah, that's where I'm the baby of 5. I'm not the youngest. I'm the baby of 5, and my brother. Obviously he's older. He's about 10 years older than me, so he had the Star Wars toys, and the levels of cousins. I'm towards the bottom, but there's boys that are a couple years older than me, and 4 years older than me, and 6 years older than me. So I was born in 1978. So Star Wars had already started. They already had the toys. By the time I was 2 or 3 years old, I was already playing with Star Wars toys. I remember my first memory of a Star Wars really is, I don't know how old I was, but I had the orange cloud card from Empire Strikes Back. And it wasn't mine, but I was allowed to play with it. And that was my first memory of Star Wars. I didn't know what it was. I just knew I was never allowed to play with it until then. So that was something amazing for me. And you have quite the collection, from what I understand.
This was before social media, and George Lucas was so groundbreaking in so many ways that basically, it just had such a tremendous effect, I think, on our development, our early development of imagination and creativity. There was just something about not only him, but his team. You go from the blasters to the lightsabers, the characters, the way they looked, It's just something so appealing as a child. I collect, but for the memories of childhood, because again, the innocence of that. The mysticism of all the side characters to me was so inspirational, and again, it's something that sticks with you throughout your whole life. So for me, one of the greatest movies of all time, of course, is Citizen Kane, and at the end he says Rosebud. And a lot of times, what many people believe, I think ultimately, is that he's referring to his childhood and he's referring to his innocence and the special time of his life. And for us, I mean, somebody might say Star Wars at the end of their life because, again, sometimes it brings back these magical memories, these toys of when we were innocent and when we're just starting in terms of creativity and everything that's amazing about Hollywood, the fantasy, the creativity of it. What Hollywood should be about. That's George Lucas to me. And again, how exciting it is in terms of the next couple of months. It's almost like some people are choosing Christmas or Star Wars season right now. For those who are Star Wars fans, between Episode 9 and Mandalorian, it's a very exciting time, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm choosing both. I you have your collection that you started, and you started it because of the nostalgia. I never collected anything until not a couple months ago, the New York Comic Con. So but a year ago, and I was there with a couple podcasters and collectors and walking around with them, and I was like, oh, that looks nice, that looks nice. And I came home and I ordered a couple things off of eBay, but it was like the AT-AT driver or the AT driver. It's all semantics to me. I really don't care what you call it or what anybody calls it. We all know what we're talking about.
Yes.
And a couple other, yeah, there's a lot more important things to argue about in Star Wars than that. But, and a couple other things, and they started arriving, and I was like, well, I think these are nice and that's nice. And, the next thing you know, I have a bookcase full of Funko Pops and Black Series. I've always had the books. And it's getting to the point where I was told I was finally told after a year I need to stop buying things. So my idea for that was, it's a New York City apartment. I don't have room. So no, we need to just rearrange some things and move the bed and buy another bookcase. And, that didn't fly over too well. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I want to thank everyone that's in here right now. We're talking with Dominic Pace. He's being featured in the Mandalorian. He is a bounty hunter. Now the nickname is Geeko or Gecko?
Gecko. Brian Sipe, who was the makeup artist over at Legacy Effects 2 to 3 years prior, he did a model over for a Greenpeace project, and that was what my makeup and my head was based off of originally. It actually originally had two humps that was very similar to a gecko. And then it turned into four horns. So that's where the nickname came from. Whether Disney makes that official or not, we shall see. But Gecko the Bounty Hunter is the way it's going. And that was kind of the name around set there. So fingers crossed that gets solidified within an action figure. But that's where the name came from. He did this amazing model with these black tones and these white tones and a skin tone that you can see. I have got all the art all over my Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and also Brian has some, Brian Sipe, on his Instagram as well, some of the origin of that character. But yeah, really exciting. He gave me the most extensive makeup. I was in his chair for 6 hours. I did not even know what I was going in for. It was just a simple makeup test. But we spent 6 hours together. We really hit it off. He was such a genuine man. I just did not know what to say to him on set in terms of something, where you're a Star Wars fan. How do you thank somebody for giving you the gift of a lifetime? But I sent him just a nice card afterwards, and he's just such a genuine human being and such an amazing talent. I think he's got his own makeup line. He's one of the heads there over at Legacy Effects. So Gecko the Bounty Hunter is kind of the rumored name, and fingers crossed that gets solidified in Wikipedia over the next few months.
Yeah, and that's what I talked with you briefly a little bit last week or whatever, just trying to make some plans, and nothing major, but I could just tell that even though you said that you were a Star Wars fan for life, I could really tell by your excitement and enthusiasm, just the way that you were talking about things, and that's
absolutely.
why.
Yeah, I mean, without question, in 1999, I was on Entertainment Tonight. I had my whole collection. I had a life-size Han Solo and Carbonite. But it's just a beautiful story. And one of the things now, that we have all these episodes is, for you and I, perhaps we related to the original trilogy, but kids that are maybe 10, 20 years younger than us, they related to the prequels, and now you have the newer generations that are relating to the new series. So Star Wars is so special because it not only touches our lives, us Gen Xers, but obviously people from all different walks of life. It's so inspirational in so many ways, and like I said, I just can't say enough of how honored I am to just be a small sliver of the universe there.
Now, I know there's really not a lot you can talk about because it hasn't come out yet, and we really don't know anything. We have probably 2 minutes or a few minutes of TV spot time. I think I saw more at Celebration, and the clips they showed there. It was a little bit more of raw footage, though, not as cleaned up. What can you tell us about your character? Anything? Basically, I want you to tell me as much as you can about everything, and
Well, instead of getting in trouble, because I have to be very careful, I'd like to just talk in terms of the experience from the point of view of a Star Wars fan, which I think is healthy and it's fine. On my first day that I was there, I entered a cantina, which you do see in the trailer, and standing there was none other than George Lucas, which was absolutely just mind-blowing. Okay. At this level, unfortunately, this is not a fan meet and greet. You're there to work, you're there to do a job, and you're there with a $100 million budget. So everyone who is part of that, you're there to just listen and do whatever it is that you're told. But just to be in his presence, in the presence of Favreau and Filoni, who are such genuine men, such amazing leaders, and not only that, this amazing new director, Deborah Chow, was just beyond words. So the whole entire experience for those 8 to 10 days was just absolutely priceless. I want to share one story that I think every Star Wars fan is able to relate to. Back during the prequels, I believe Samuel Jackson and Ewan McGregor talked about this amazing experience where I think it was either Lucas or one of the prop members who presented them with a suitcase full of lightsabers. So you got to imagine for a Star Wars fan to be presented not with lightsabers, but with an entire table full of blasters for bounty hunters. I got to pick my own bounty hunter blaster, and that to me was just priceless. I am 6'4". I'm 255 pounds, so I wanted to go with a very big blaster, one that was a semi-automatic with a paintball canister attached to the back and a curved dagger down to the bottom. So that for me, again, was just such a priceless experience to be a Star Wars fan, and to have that opportunity was just amazing. I could talk about the tone on set, which was ridiculously professional. You hear some of the old stories of James Cameron and Michael Bay and people yelling and shouting and screaming this and that. I can't tell you how cool Filoni and Favreau are just in regards to the way that they lead and the way they let their leaders lead, especially with Deborah Chow, who, again, I think was handed the Kenobi series. That's how talented she is. Carl Weathers, I was with. I can say that. I am Italian-American. The Rocky series for me was incredibly inspirational. So to combine Star Wars plus another one of my inspirations, Sylvester Stallone, and of course Carl Weathers, who led that series to be one of the greatest series of all time in Hollywood American history, was just such an honor. The man's presence, his talent, his grace is second to none. So to be able to be alongside him in one of the situations, let's just call it that, was just such an honor to be near him. People ask me in terms of how I prep for the role. Sometimes when you're around the energy of A-list talent, you're able to get there because of the intensity or the levels of their emotions to where you're able to kind of play out the same thing. Just in regards to storyline and respect to any spoilers and respect to Disney, I just have to be careful in terms of certain situations. But please, I'd love to come back on the show after November 22nd and talk about the whole thing and how it played out. Again, like I said, I'm just kind of beyond words right now. It's just, I think a lot of Star Wars fans can relate that it's just a dream come true. And it's funny because it's not necessarily an acting accolade, but it's like some of my favorite characters were Walrus Man and Hammerhead and Squidman and Reese and Klaatu, some of these side characters that really were so special to me as a kid. And to think that there's a potential possibility that they might do, some of the side characters for Mandalorian would be, to me, as great as an Academy Award. I got involved in this business due to the fantasy, due to the escapism, not so much for the craft itself, not so much for the ultimate political, honor of getting an Academy Award. But for me, it's just about returning to childhood, and to get my own action figure and to present that to my children one day would just be absolutely amazing. So fingers crossed here for the next year.
That's what I was just thinking about when you were saying, some people related to the prequel trilogy, some of the sequels, some of the original. You might be somebody's Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan Kenobi, because they might watch this. You might not have as much screen time, but they might watch this and say, "This guy is amazing. I want to be like Gecko. I want to be a bounty hunter when I grow up." Some little kid, obviously, he's not going to be a Gecko bounty hunter, but in his eyes, at 3 years old or 5 years old or whatever he is, his imagination, that's what he's going to be. And then he's going to get maybe get your action figure. And he's going to be,
yeah.
I
was going to say that you bring up a really good point just in regards to children and in regards to touching other people's lives. I plan to hopefully do a little bit of a convention here, tour here as just a side character, with some of the conventions. But one of the most important things I want to get involved in is the 501st with the Mandalorian Mercs in regards to making a difference and a positive effect on children's lives and people's lives all over the world. I've been so gracious. I mean, people, again, in America, the American mentality, I'm, Italian American, grew up in New York, is just always to push and keep being more and more successful. But for me, just this alone, this little gift for, a kid from Ossining, New York, Westchester County, to have this little gift and to be able to hopefully pay that forward to me, to make an impact in people's lives in a positive way through Star Wars now means more to me than booking another television role. I will tell you that.
I mean, that's like, I don't know if I talked to you about it. That's kind of on little different paths, but with my YouTube channel, I'm trying to get up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. That's what you need to make money on it, but that's not why I'm doing it, because you need all the hours to do it. I'm not worried about that. I want to get to the 1,000 because once you get to 1,000 subscribers, you can mobile live stream. So I can take my phone out and pull it up and walk around and do things. So when I go to Star Wars Celebration, I know there's 7 or 8 people in the chat right now. I don't think Charles is going. I don't think I don't know if I know Rural Farm Boy Anthony that you spoke with earlier for a second or two. He's not going. Those 2 people right there out of the few that are in here can't go. I'm gonna be able to walk around with my camera or my phone, and they can say, "Go look at this, go look at that." Which is, people said, "Oh, just go take videos." Well, no, going and taking videos is take a video. Everybody does that. I can have my friends that can't go there be like, "Go check out this, go check out that." Maybe they'll buy me a churro or something for doing it.
Absolutely. I wish you the best of luck with everything. Again, it's persistence and hard work. And like I said, just taking a lot of pride in the little victories. That's what's kept me going for 25 years. And I wish you all the best and all your listeners with their endeavors as well.
Okay. What kind of time frame are you looking on? Do you need to cut out of here shortly?
Well, no, I just, forgive me. We had a little bit of a mishap here. My son was supposed to have baseball practice. They have a blackout at the game. I have more than enough time, but do you mind if I drive? Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, go ahead. Please shoot me the questions and forgive me here. I just, my son, unfortunately, the practice got canceled. I'm doing double duty as a dad. So I just, it was a little bit of unexpected turbulence here, but please go fire ahead. I got all the time in the world.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, you were saying that, I feel honored that, you're taking the time out of your day to talk to me, because, I'm this guy that talks to a couple people, where everybody, people that have their YouTube channel or their podcast, they usually have a set thing and they talk and they do whatever. And with the live chat, they answer a couple questions or do as much as they can. For me, mine's more like, I don't write anything down, nothing scripted. So when I come on and people come on and we start talking, I have things I want to talk about. It took me 3 weeks to talk. It took me 3 weeks to talk about a comic I want to talk about, because I kept forgetting, because when people started talking, we talked about what they want to. It's more like, if you're, I'm meeting my friends at the bar right now, and we're having some beers and talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, that's my cup of tea right there.
That's what this is. That's why, I was telling you I got the StreamYard now. So, any of these people that want to come in after I'm done talking with you,
yeah, Michael, we're pretty. You bring up a really good point, but I got to tell you, I can't tell you how appreciative I am of the podcasters, everybody else. This is a featured side character, and without the podcaster, I can't, I have everything public on my Facebook page. You've got to see the illustrations, the support from the fan base. This character will literally be nothing without the podcasters and the fans. So I am so grateful to each and every one of you. And again, being a fan myself, I've been in chat rooms and I've been on the comment section of a lot of the Star Wars groups and such. So anything that I can do in order to add for a positive experience, not to mention, you guys are helping me out in terms of promoting the character. I'm here for you. And like I said, I can't tell you how appreciative I am.
Well, that's where I am too, where I'm so appreciative, because it's funny. These people, these people, the majority of the people have listened to podcasters or listen to podcasts, and they're lucky if they become friends with some of them, or get to hit the hangouts or whatever. I never did any of the social media aspect of anything until it will be 2 years in January. And I was just bored. I was just coming off a disability. I was trying to find a job. I was just taking blow off classes and school, so I had a bunch of time to kill. And I said, I want to meet some Star Wars friends. So the one day I started up a Twitter, a YouTube, Facebook, like you name it, anything I could figure out how to do, instantly I did, and made 1 or 2 videos. Had a couple friends on Twitter, and somebody sent me a message and said, hey, we're getting together. We're a bunch of podcasters. We're getting together. You want to come meet with us? We saw your video. We liked it. And I went and met with them, and, I didn't know what I was walking into. I thought, the stereotypical hiding in the basement Star Wars nerd, having his mom bring him down to Hot Pockets or whatever from, like one of the South Park cartoons or whatever did a parody of something like that. That's my worst fear when I'm walking into. And I walk in, I realize I'm the biggest nerd out of everybody there. And now I become friends with them. Then I go to Comic-Con with them. Then I go to Star Wars Celebration with them, and there's, we have houses and everything. I'm going with them to Anaheim for Celebration. So it's like I went from I want to make some friends to hitting the mother load. I think I said when I was telling the story to everybody that was in my chat the one day, the only way that it would be better is if I became friends with like Dave Filoni and George Lucas. Other than that, it's like I wanted to make a few Star Wars friends, and I have podcasters and YouTubers, and it's just like, completely out of this world. So it's like I feel honored like that, and that's why I'm completely open to anybody, and talking with people and anybody, and you want to come on and talk, that's fine. I'll send you the code. All you gotta do is let me know. Because as Anthony says, it's not about me, it's about we. It's the community. And like you said, it's the community that made this character something. And you're talking to me today. You talked to Blue Mantha Milk, who I'm friends with recently. Tomorrow you're going on the Sith list, and I'm friends with them. To where I could text them or call them or hit them up. So it's like everybody's friends with each other. That you're going to see, and there's no animosity of you're talking to them. Well, I talk to them. It's like, great, good thing you're talking to them. Oh, we just talked to them. Oh, well, this is great. And everyone's happy for each other. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's a positive, fun community. For the most
is, and it's so
for the most part.
There's a lot of negativity right now in society, whether it's political or social. So, I know, you're mentioning it in terms of Mom's Basement, and we're talking about, kind of nerdy and such. But I'll tell you, I can't get over the amount of enthusiasm and joy with this group of people, the 501st and the Mercs and the cosplayers, in terms of genuinely enjoying something in life. I think it's the most beautiful thing. I'd rather be hanging out and having a beer with you than a lot of the people who have a chip on their shoulder, or everything is just negative, or they're just viewing everything in a skewed negative manner through life or through politics or through social issues. It's been so refreshing to kind of all come together with this beautiful series that George Lucas has created and now has been taken on by Kennedy and Filoni and Favreau, to be able to share just the joy of life. This is what entertainment is about. It's about escapism. So it's just such a pleasure. It's such an honor to not only, like I said, be a small sliver of this, but also to just kind of be a part of all these fun podcasters and all these fans who just genuinely just love, this fantasy world. There's nothing wrong with it at all. If anything, like I said, it's just such a joy to be around that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I don't know how up to date you are on, some of the things that the negativity in the fandom, but I don't really want to deal with that. But at Celebration, there was talks of people disrupting and doing things. And I'd say, out of the 50,000 people, or it holds, I don't know how many people were actually there. It holds 50,000 people a day or 60,000 people a day. There was a couple people a day that no one started anything. Some people had, t-shirts on that, Luke lives or Luke deserves better, or things like that. That's fine. You can think whatever you want, wear whatever you want. I have nothing against that. It's when, your beliefs interfere with my beliefs, because you can't just let me want what I want and be happy for me,
Exactly. Yeah. I think the good news is, I think we're, hopefully we're at a point where everybody's going to kind of let that go. And again, Favreau and Filoni, I think, are doing, they're going to do such an amazing job with this, where I think in many ways they'll bring everybody together. It's unfortunate. Obviously, there was obviously a lot of criticism with Solo and 8, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, again, if we go back to the joy of George Lucas and the joy of this galaxy, on the whole, as a whole, no matter who you are, you have to admit, and even I would say some of these people who are negative for whatever reason, it's like a sports team, to where they're being passionate and because they care about something. Unfortunately, they're expressing it in the wrong way, and there's no room for anything in terms of that's racist or sexist, or even in general the negativity. But I would say, if there's any good silver lining to it, it's that people are passionate about Star Wars because they care about it, because they love it. But by no means should it ever ruin your experience and ruin the experience of many like you and I, to where we just want to enjoy this amazing piece of work that Disney has been putting together and will continue to for many, many years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't really want to, I keep saying I don't want to dwell on it, and then I say something else about it. But, even at Celebration, there was one big person who, that movement, who's like one of the leaders of that movement and hates all Star Wars now and everything. He was at Celebration walking around with a big smile on his face, talking to everybody, want to be best friends and everything. Because for him, it's just a way to make money. But the problem is that a lot of people don't understand, and they don't know that, and they take that to heart, and let the hatred grow inside of them. But
it's again, let's forget. Again, it's all positive right now. Again,
yep.
The next couple months, any Star Wars fan is just going to be absolutely amazing. We've got the Mandalorian coming out. Disney made an amazing investment on this, and also at the same time, J.J. Abrams has Episode 9. So all good things to come. And like I said, let bygones be bygones. It is what it is.
So now you said before, $100 million for the Mandalorian.
8 episodes. My God, I mean, this is going to be some visual eye candy, I can imagine, huh?
Yeah, and I got to figure that you're going to have a couple ups and a couple downs. So one of them might have only been 8 million, and the other one's 20 million. There's probably some disparity in there with, I'm just guessing. I'm basing something like off of Game of Thrones, where you have 10,000 extras, that you have and the dragons coming in, things like that. And then, another episode, it's a little bit off. So, I'm just imagining that some of the episodes, even though they're still going to be visually stunning, you have other ones that are just going to be jaw dropping.
I think, they've got their finger on some new technology. I can't go into detail with it, but again, I mean, you got the best in the business, and plus you got Disney behind them. So this is just going to be a special gift for everyone, and no matter what walk of life you're coming from, I think this is going to be really amazing. Also, I was talking with my wife just recently. I mean, what a great deal it sounds like for most of the package deals. If you have young kids at home, not only with The Mandalorian, but also all the other Disney movies, this is going to be really just a no-brainer. I remember, I was thinking, I was like, well, God, I have Amazon, I've got Netflix, but my wife is just like, hey, this is too good to be true, and especially for those with young kids, before we used to have to buy all the DVDs and Blu-rays, this is going to be absolutely amazing for most families there.
I mean, I was raised on Disney, and I remember every Sunday at 7:00 on ABC, the Disney movie came on, and we were all in our in our PJs with our sleeping bag or our blanket and pillow, and we'd watch the movie until we fell asleep, and Mom or Dad would carry us up to bed then.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, the whole, and it's so cheap that
Escape from Witch Mountain, and what they have, the Shaggy Dog, and was it Herbie too? I think was Disney as well.
Herbie, right? Dobie McGillis or Dobie, and they're all ones. If you ask me to name them, I could probably name a few. But if you put them on a list, I'd be like, yep, saw every single one of them.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to know where you got your hat.
Um, Oh God, I think if you do Amazon and just go Mandalorian, that was it. So nothing too
Okay.
special. This was not a production crew hat, but yeah, it was. If you start googling or searching Amazon Mandalorian, or if you Google Mandalorian, gear apparel, some good things will come up. But I've had some fun things that I've purchased over the last few months just to kind of get festive. It's again, this is kind of like there's Christmas and there's the Star Wars holiday season, and so I've been doing a little bit of shopping as my own, just kind of building up a little bit of a swag for the conventions there.
Yeah, there's another company, Heroes and Villains. They haven't been around very long. They have the Disney license and they make a little bit of everything. Their first big thing was that Comic-Con that I spoke about earlier. And I got my jacket that I wear from there. My backpack that I got, my backpack that I got. The clasp broke on it. I'm not going to say it was my fault, but it should not have broken, and it broke, and I don't know how it broke. We'll just leave it at that. And they replaced it, no questions asked. Obviously you could tell by the damage there was damage done to it, but whatever. So great company. I highly endorse them. They just came out with a Mandalorian line. So that's Heroes and Villains. Not my sponsor yet, but maybe they will be.
Yeah, I just bought one. There was another one called From Her Universe. That was the name of the company. And they got this really cool Mandalorian vest that has the Mandalorian symbol. And then also it says on the back, he's no good to me dead. So I thought that was pretty badass. So I picked that up actually last week, which was pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, her universe. Somebody in this chat should probably be able to tell me. I think that's one of the like a Star Wars person. I don't know if it's like an actual Star Wars person like Ashley Eckstein, who has a company, but a well-known podcaster or someone in the Star Wars community. I think that might be someone like that. One of their.
It might be Eckstein's because I saw her as a model, so that might actually connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
If some of my friends were in here listening to me, I know they'd be able to answer. I'm not going to name any of their names, though. I'll just text them afterwards and be like, I had a Star Wars question. Only you could answer. Where were you? And I'd be like, what was it? And, it was about girls' clothes. So, yeah, I have a lot of questions. That's the hard part, I have a lot of questions I want to ask you, but I know you can't answer them. And I know even asking you, that it's not, and not trying to give you gotcha questions, just, wanting to know, how many episodes, can you tell us how many episodes you're in?
Oh man, I kind of can't.
Okay.
All right. Let's just say, I'll be holding my breath longer than tomorrow, but
okay. All right. Okay. And then,
again, but again, we can talk about just the excitement again. I've been a lifelong fan, and again, starting tomorrow, and then we could talk more extensively. But let's just say after November, late November, then we could talk about the whole kit and caboodle there, and just I just want to make that's all.
Yeah, trust me. Listen, I don't want to give you any grief, or I want you to be able to come back and talk to me. If season 2 is a possibility, if you're in season 2, come back and talk to me about season 2. Or if something happens to your character, so you're not going to be in season 2, maybe you're a different character in season 2 or season 3. You're wearing makeup, no one's going to see you. It's not like they're going to be like, hey, we know that guy from something else. You got a bunch of guys right now. That's how they made their living, is just being in movie after movie.
Without question. Absolutely.
Whether
that happens or not, I just can't tell you how grateful I am to Filoni and also just to Disney for this even small opportunity. People ask me, if I want to, continue on. I've, received a phone call, and actually Brian reached out to me a few weeks ago in regards to a potential other character. But at the same time, for me, if they can bless another Star Wars fan with maybe their own one-of-a-kind character, to me that would make me just as happy. It's weird. I have a heart to where, for me, it's not worth anything of value unless I can share it. So I just, for what I have, I'm just grateful. It's like winning the lottery and then saying, oh God, I hope I get another lottery ticket. This to me, again, has just been priceless in and of itself. So wherever it leads, I mean, it leads. But again, just to hit this and to touch the top of the mountain even once within our Star Wars fantasy world is just beyond words.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it just goes back to, what I was saying before about the wine at 1,000. I could go on, a Facebook page and the sub for sub and, in a couple of weeks have my numbers there. But, that's not what there's no reason to do that. That's not what I'm in it for. I'm not in it for the fame and notoriety and to be able to say I got that number. I wanted to be able to say these people over here, I'm now friends with Rural Farm Boy, Mr. Rez and I talk on the computer a lot. I actually, he helped me out when I just got this program, the software the other day. He helped me out working on it. I did a 3-hour stream just trying to figure out what the buttons and everything did. With some of the guys just helping me out and, giving them a present. And I was on a podcast or I was on a live stream yesterday and they asked, or a couple days ago, this weekend, whatever it was, and they were giving away a Funko Pop. And the question was to name the first and last name of Carl Weathers' character. And there was a little pause. So everybody's going to go with the Mandalorian and Rocky. Boom. And I got it right away. And, the first one, not that anybody else had it, and, they're sending me a pop in the mail. Well, I do little contests and, I get some people and, it makes people happy, especially friends. It doesn't, it's a $10, piece of junk that, I look at it and this one I like, that one I don't like, but, they're going to say, hey, I remember when I got it from this guy. And, not that I'm anybody, we're all special, but not that I'm anybody important where they should be like, who I got this from? I got it from TooMedToo, Michael Condon. Yeah. And people are like, I don't know who is that, but just the fact that they can know, oh, hey, yeah, that's cool. I got something now, it's just
absolutely
friendship.
I sent you a little gift package there. So feel free to give out to your listeners. I signed a few photos there for you, but yeah, it's always nice to get cool stuff. And of course, win a contest there.
Yeah. One of, I saw that, I saw that picture that you're sending me, I believe. I think it's in the video of you of you signing some. If it's the same one, I'm getting that framed. I'm going to put that up. And then I have, another one or two to figure out someone to do it with or do a little giveaway or contest or whatever.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate it. Definitely reward your listeners there. And thank you so much. Again, next year, it's all about, celebrating with the fans. So if I can have little giveaways myself, that would be absolutely priceless.
All right. I just lost. Hang on. I don't know what just happened. I'm still here. Can you guys still hear me out around there?
Yep. Yeah, you're live.
Okay. Just no picture of me? Oh, maybe that picture's coming back. I don't know. No. Well. All right. We gotta see. This is why it's a good thing I played around with this the other day because I learned how to do this. Okay. Can you see me now?
No, I can hear you, and we're live.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm going to work on this for a second or two. If you could own a droid, hang on, if you could own a droid, any droid, which droid would you choose?
Well, in terms of figures, I had this question asked before. There was something really cool I used to love about that 2-1B. I think it was the Empire Strikes Back. It was like the medical droid. I always thought that was kind of a cool little droid. Of course, was it KTSO from Rogue One? That was pretty awesome to actually have the droid that was kind of like your bodyguard there, and plus, not to mention such a great personality, sense of humor he brought to the movie. So K2SO and also 2-1B are two of my favorites. 3PO, I mean, it's a little, how do you not love 3PO? But at the same time, I mean, even like Han Solo's character, it gets a little annoying after a while as far as just never shutting up,
Yeah. Well, I think the question was more along the lines of if you could own any droid, not the actual figure, because you said figure, so I wasn't sure if you could own any droid.
No. I mean, I just in the coolness. I used to love. There was something about 2-1B I thought was pretty awesome.
Okay. Yeah, that's where. That's what I'm actually named after. That's where TooMedToo comes from.
Oh, sweet.
You know, like you were saying, you had your figures that you liked. You know, the Walrus Man and Hammerhead or whatever. All right, now I got a camera again. I lost my camera, so I'm gonna be. I don't know what happened, but yeah. So that was I was trying to figure, you know, like it was literally like I said, I just decided I'm gonna start all these things to make Star Wars friends. Part of it was because I was listening to a lot of things that were on the internet and were negative, and I was like, if these guys can go on there and talk to people, I can go on there and talk to people, and I can make some friends that way. And you know, that's what it was. I was going back into school for nursing and trying to figure out what it could be or what name I could be. And I decided, you know what? That was one of the characters that really stands out from my childhood of me having, you know, besides the cloud car being one of my first memories of figures were 2-1B, Gamorrean Guard, and the AT-AT driver.
Yeah. I mean, they're all so unique, you know, and it really is just a tribute to uniqueness. That's I can only imagine what we're going to see starting tomorrow and also in episode 9. They do just always such an amazing job in terms of all the uniqueness and creativity of the creatures and the characters, and not only that, the blasters, the lightsabers, all that kind of stuff is what makes Star Wars so special.
Yeah, and this is I got with the camera.
Oh, very cool. They got a Funko Pop. Very awesome.
Yep, they have pretty much a Funko Pop for everything. I actually have. I went a little crazy for Force Friday, and I ordered every single one of the Funkos coming out for Force Friday, which was about 20 of them or 22 of them. And I don't even. I joke around that I don't collect Funko Pops, and I'm in a Funko Pop collecting community or group just because one of my good friends runs it, and I like to help him out whenever I can with some things here and there. And it started off the same way with the Black Series. I just got one or two, and then I like that one, I like that one, I like that one. And then when you know, now I have 30 of them, and that doesn't include the case of Funko Pops I haven't opened yet because my computer was broken, so I didn't do an unboxing for them. That was just sitting there. That my girlfriend doesn't even know about that one. Thank God she doesn't watch this. She doesn't even know about that box because it's in the hallway by the stairs that go up to the roof that no one uses. Yeah. It's just sitting over there on the side.
Right.
You know, once I unbox that though, I'm gonna have to figure out. That's when I definitely need the second bookcase for something. But
I had an ambitious friend of mine who created a Funko Pop for me, and God willing, again they'll make Black Series and a figure. You know, you just never know how they're going to do the side character figures or if they'll create them. But obviously, it would be a dream come true to have my own Funko Pop Black Series and 3.75 inch figure. But you know, you never know. Like I said, either way, I'd appreciate. Grateful for the opportunity. If anything else comes about, it is what it is. But ultimately, just very grateful.
And I don't think we you and I talked about it briefly before, but I don't think we talked about it today. Besides the Mandalorian coming out tomorrow, you have coming out today another show.
That's correct. Starring tonight. It's already aired. Playing in the Midwest on the West Coast at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guest starring opposite Ronda Rousey, and just an amazing, talented cast from Fox and 911, and then also be guest starring on a new show called Deputy, starring Stephen Dorff, January 30th on Fox. That's going to be a new show. They've got some of the new trailers out. And then I just had a film. I'm starring in a film called Anonymous Killers, an amazing sociological thriller that just screened and premiered at the American Film Market the last couple of about 2 days ago there. And that was something that took about 5 years to produce and create. And it's out. Just going to be amazing. One of those discussion pieces. And yeah, a lot of good stuff. Psychosis opposite Tyler Mane. Tyler Mane was in X-Men and Halloween. He starred in Halloween. I have a film called Psychosis with him. I'll be Billy Bob's driver. I have a little featured bit as Billy Bob's driver in a bestseller movie called A Million Little Pieces with Scout Taylor Johnson as well. And there's another really good.
That one sounds definitely sounds familiar.
Follow Me, which is supposed to be real. It's kind of like a social media thriller that takes place in Russia, and I play one of the henchmen in that. So a lot of stuff going on, but right now, of course, it's all about Star Wars, and just really excited again. I mean. This is just something, again, for the past year, I've just been kind of in a daze of just the fact that this is real. It's really too good to be true.
I mean, I don't understand, but I understand.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't experienced that. You know, my highlight is being able to talk to you and, you know, some of the other authors I possibly have lined up to speak with. Yeah, you broke up a little bit while you were talking. He is guest featuring. I don't know.
911 on Fox.
Yeah.
Deputy on Fox January 30th, and then I'm starring in the feature film Anonymous Killers. And that
the Anonymous Killers. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. So Fox tonight, 911.
Yes.
With Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey, correct.
And she's on that. She came in an episode or two ago as a firefighter as a replacement for another firefighter who is now back. So I'm not sure how that whole scenario is going to play out. I read a little bit about that episode that you're in, so I know, but I don't want to say too much in case there's anyone that watches it. I don't want to spoil it for them. And then Deputy coming out in January.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be on Fox also. And then Anonymous Killers, which I wasn't able to find any trailers or footage on, but I was able to read, I mean, very minor about it. It looks interesting. And you have really a starring role. You have a starring role in that.
That is correct. You know, it deals with a lot of society now in terms of, and it's subjective, but basically the subject is of those who come from privilege and those who don't. Sometimes when you come from the inner city or you come from circumstances that aren't obviously in your favor growing up as a kid, you have to do what you have to do in order to survive. And sometimes that might be leading a life of crime. What it poses is just the fact that the 1%, or the top elite don't really care whether you struggle or not, don't really care whether you have to work 10 times harder in order to get somewhere. You still have to pay the price if you commit a crime or not. But what it does is just kind of opens up people's minds as far as sympathizing with those who don't come from the best circumstances and perhaps understanding that, people have to do what they have to do in order to survive. But it's definitely going to be, the director said he wants to make something remarkable. And what he meant by that was that he wants people to remark on the film afterwards, and you certainly will. It will stick with you for quite some time. But yeah, look for it in the early half of next year. You probably most likely on Netflix or Amazon there. It's really quite something.
Okay. So we no. You're prior to your Star Wars adventures and escapades. Do you want to talk about any highlights you have or that in any of the films, like something like Megalodon?
Sure.
Or you want to just leave some of those alone because you don't want to burn any bridges and say this was better than this, or
No, not at all. I mean, ultimately, look, I mean, I started studying in 1993. I got my first guest star 10 years later, 2003, in NYPD Blue, and that to me was a really monumental moment to be able to make the big leagues and something that I dreamt of for quite some time. Since then, again, I've had almost over 100 appearances, and namely NCIS, Navy NCIS, the district, You've got Desperate Housewives. You've got Cold Case, Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives. I mean, I've just been working very consistently. Megalodon was a low budget film. We all know about Asylum Films. They're trying to shove in $100 million within a $50,000 budget. You have to do, normally you would have to do on a major league film, maybe 7 to 8 pages at the most. We were packing in 14 to 15 pages. So a lot of times you don't necessarily have that much time to have a second take. So, I'm proud of everything that I've done. A lot of times things are going to be low budget or they might be high budget. But either way, my persistence and consistency throughout my career, I'm very proud of. And again, I mean, just to have this little tiny gift as a Star Wars fan really kind of puts the icing on the cake and reminds us why I've been persistent for so long.
Yeah, just as long as it's one of those things, as long as you give it your all, and you're doing what you can, for the most part, that's all that matters. I flip burgers, and I've at jobs, and I've had jobs where I open up $1,000 bottles of wine. And there's other people that have jobs that open up $10,000 bottles of wine or $100,000 bottles of wine. So my $1,000 bottle means nothing. So I mean, it's all relative. Just as long as you're doing your best or doing what you need to do to support your family and survive.
Absolutely. There's no shame at all in doing any type of blue collar job. There's no shame at all in getting a guest star and then not knowing where the next job is, but taking any work that you can. I've just kind of been a gamer that way. And I've been a journeyman for the last 25 years out here in Hollywood. And again, like I said, but at the same time, you just appreciate every opportunity you have. You always just kind of keep yourself grounded and just you're appreciative of any opportunity. So I have a lot to be grateful for and very thankful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the perfect example of that. A week or two ago on Twitter, somebody, I got a link to somebody's GoFundMe page because they're losing their job in December, their contract's up or whatever. So they started a GoFundMe page, and I know of this person, and they have a better high paying job, and I said, well, I know you don't want to hear this, but if you looked into something like, Target or Walmart or Chipotle, just whatever, just something to pay the bills. And they said, why am I going to go to a job where they're telling me I'm overqualified? And I said, so, you have too much dignity to apply for a minimum wage job, but not enough dignity to beg for money,
Right.
But that's just,
that's not me. Again, you take what you can get. I have a friend, he's a character actor. He works off, and his name is Franco Vega, and he runs a moving company. And for me, it's just about just having the opportunity, having the freedom to be able to still make those auditions. And his work, I mean, it's ridiculously grueling, but the bottom line, that's an opportunity. And you just do, again, whatever you have to do in order to support your family, and also at the same time chase your dream. And there should be no shame in that whatsoever.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, I went when I was I had a good job. I was making good money. Then I was on disability, and I decided when I was on disability, I wanted to go back to school for nursing because I didn't want to be in restaurant management anymore. And I took a job, making minimum wage-ish money around there. And when I was hired, they wanted me to be in management, and I said, no, I don't want that responsibility. This is what this is what I need to do so I can go back to school for the betterment of myself. I don't need everything else. And now I've had a couple problems with school and, financial aid and this and that. And school made a mistake from 2 years ago that says I never paid them. But, so now it's like, well, maybe we'll take that little bit of a pay raise for a year or two while I'm, finishing school. You got to do what you got to do to feed your family and pay the bills. And, I'd love it if I won the lottery, but I'm not going to go out and, beg you for money.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Michael. Well, listen, like I said, I'm really appreciative to be on. I do have to run. My kids got to get a little bit of dinner, but absolutely so grateful to you and everybody, all the listeners for supporting this little side character. And again, for those of you like myself and like you who sit there and they're persistent, they work hard and they follow their dreams, a lot of good things come out of it there. So I wish you and everybody all the best there.
All right. Well, I was just reading the chat really quick, see if there was any quick questions before. All right. I really appreciate you being on here. this is like, an honor to me, to have, you on there. You're the closest I am to Star Wars now. You're a Star Wars, and now you're we're working on that acquaintance thing. You're going to be in New York City hopefully soon enough. We'll go have a couple of beers and maybe hang out at Celebration next year.
Absolutely. I look forward to it, Michael. Whether it's in New York or at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim next year, it will be a pleasure to meet you there. Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. And if any questions end up that I missed, I'll just send them to you, and whenever you can get back to me with those for your fans, that will be great.
Absolutely, without question. Thank you so much. Wishing everybody a great evening, and thank you all for subscribing to Disney Plus. And I appreciate everyone's support of this little featured side character. Thank you so much for having me, Michael.
All right, thank you very much, Dominic.
Okay, have a great night.
You too. And look what the cat dragged in. Rural Farm Boys in. Can you hear me, Anthony? So, I don't. Oh, you're delayed because you are in YouTube watching this.
No, I muted my mic. I just unmuted my mic. There was some lag in that. There was a little bit of lag in there, but it seems to have ironed itself out now.
Oh, on my end or his end?
Oh, did you go and cut the stream? You cut the stream off of YouTube? Is it down?
No, it's still on.
Oh crap. All right, I just closed the window.
I meant the leg. Was the leg on my end? Was the leg with me or with him, or the whole thing? Because he was
on YouTube. There was just a tiniest little bit where it was getting kind of blocky, choppy, and the chat was kind of. It had a bit of a lag too on it, so I went and I closed the window out and kept StreamYard open, so I could still hear the whole thing going on. But I was just hoping that there wasn't some sort of issue that went on in chat because I closed that window out.
Okay.
But no, right here, I'm on the StreamYard page right now. No, everything's smooth as glass right here.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that.
Yeah, was that more than maybe you was expecting?
It was a little bit more than I was expecting. I'd actually spoken with him a little bit. Well, I told you when you were helping me. Anthony helped me do my working on the StreamYard because I hadn't used it before. So the way it was before is I would come up on here on the chat, and whoever would come in would ask me a question or talk to me, and I would answer them and then wait for them to type something back. And then, with the lag that there is, sometimes I'd just be sitting here for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, because I'm done talking, don't know what else to say. And then they'd ask me a question. But now with this StreamYard, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Anybody can join me. So, if there's anybody that wants to talk Star Wars, let me know. I'll send you the link. You can hop right on here, and we can just talk.
We can bust this thing wide open.
We don't need to. Anybody can come on here and talk to me then. It's not like it was before.
It's like what you said that I say. Ain't about me. It's about we. Well,
yeah, but you remember when
platform for we.
But that was my whole thing about when I started this. A lot of your other podcaster or a lot of your other YouTubers, they have a set format, what they do, what they follow. They're going to do the news, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. So what I was talking about with him earlier, there was times, that I was trying to talk to you guys about comic books, and it took me 3 weeks to talk about them because we'd start talking, I'd forget about it. And then the next week I was going to talk about it because I don't, you'd see it in my my thumbnail for 2 or 3 weeks straight, the same thing. and it's just, there's nothing there. Because we didn't talk about it because I don't have my list. I know what I want to talk about. It's whatever the news was for the week, and the whole thing is, I want this to be like it's a couple of friends going to the bar and having some beers together. And
that's what it ended up being.
Sitting here, having a couple of beers together, and and talking, and it just happened to be with him, and he is one of the biggest Star Wars fans. Check out his Entertainment Tonight back in 99. He was he wasn't even he was even an actor then. He was just I say nobody, I don't mean offense. I mean, he wasn't anyone that we would know by that. He wasn't a Star Wars person. He'd never been on a TV show. That's what I mean. There's no offense before anybody says you shouldn't call people nobodies or whatever. I just, he doesn't have a name or a face that you would have known from, your next door neighbor or whatever it is.
No,
so,
he said straight up that he was a blue collar worker for quite a spell before he became an actor. He
was waiting. I'm pretty sure he waited tables for a while him and I have a lot of things in common when, just from a little bit I talked to him and talking to him now. But I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, so Entertainment Tonight did a thing on his his collection. Came into his house and looked at his collection, and so yeah, if you look up Dominic Pierce Entertainment Tonight, you'll see it's a really quick one. Whatever their filler piece was, but it was good.
You want a good little fun talk with him is when he was on with Andy and Josh, the Holo Chronicles boys. He talked a good little bit about his collection and collecting and all those sorts of things. That's a good little listen. It was only last week, I want to say. Yeah, go give that a look up and listen. That was a lot of fun.
All right. Anybody feel like hopping on here and talking with Anthony and I? Or you just want to stay in the type-in chat?
Also, you noticed earlier, today, when I took, speaking of Holo Chronicles, if you noticed that little graphic that I made up and was kind of spreading around about tonight, I kind of went and borrowed from Josh and Andy their graphic from when he was on their show, and then I put your logo over top. It was probably my first time using kind of, I guess you'd say it was Photoshop to go and do that. No. But the folks I was tagging are the same folks that's in the chat right now. I wanted listeners and other small-time podcasters, smaller ones, newer ones. That's who I was aiming for. And was hoping to see some other folks like Pete and Josh from Jam Transmissions. They got involved with, you remember when Shannon Moran, Postcards from Galaxy's Edge, she did her thing last week, and I went and tagged them, and Andy Signer and Ross from Beyond the Outer Rim. Ross and Shannon and Beyond the Outer Rim, I think they got a crossover show coming up. That's what I want to do.
That's what I don't want any crossover show, but I just wanted to be, it's usually there's, my regular show. Of course I wanted to be bigger, but my regular show is there's about 4 or 5 people that are here every Monday, you included. Then a couple other people stopping in and out. I usually get about 20 views on it while it's on. And then when I post it, I get about another 20. So I'm up with about 40 or 50. And then, 1 or 2 here and there as it goes on. And, somebody just checking it out or taking a look. But I want people to just be able to come on here instead of, if they just want to just chat, just chat, that's fine. But if they want to come in here and talk, we can, talk. So.
Absolutely. Forced Host Girls started out small and look where they are now. Same thing can happen here.
No, I'm not a girl. I'm not interesting.
That ain't what I mean. Stop it.
Well, I mean, well, I'm going to be honest with you. girls do well usually if they, go out there and show that they're girls, because guys are like, oh, they're cool. We're not even getting into like a whole big thing, but it's just the way it is. If you took a guy and a girl, and you took a guy with good content and a pretty girl with not a lot of content, the pretty girl is probably going to do better. Not necessarily in our group of friends, but if you take the online fandom of Star Wars holistically, you're going to get a lot of undesirables in there. Because you look at a lot of the girls that I know and that are friends with, they get a lot of dirty comments, a lot of bad comments from people.
Oh, that's the kind of stuff I just went and used them as an example. I done the same thing for Jam Transmissions, and that's 2 guys, and they got a good little following going on. And the same Charles is still there in the chat, yeah, with Conversations.
Yep.
They started out small, and now they got a listenership.
They sure do.
Yeah,
it's because they had you on there talking, answering questions. I think they really blew up that Conversations when they had this guy on there that answered some questions about his fandom. His name might be Michael Condon. I don't know. I think he kind of brought him all their other people. I'm not really sure about that.
One that done it, I think. In my opinion, that's the one pretty much done it, I think.
All right, that Dominic interview wasn't too bad. I didn't mess anything up too much, I don't think.
No, all was good. It was so.
I don't know if I told everybody on here. I had an interview. So I talked with Dominic last week, and planned out for this. He said, I want to do it as soon as possible. And I said, what about Sunday? And then I said, well, shit, I was like, hey, what about on Monday? I do a live chat. But I'm thinking, well, he's not going to want to do a live chat because what if there's trolls? What if they're whatever, blah, blah. And I was like, I started, before he even answered me, I was like, well, I can do this and I can do this. And I can do this. Just so things for him to say yes. And he was like, why would you do anything like that? I can handle myself. And I was like, okay. So I had that planned out.
Oh, but I've been trying in the chat. Go ahead. I'm still trying to figure out. Yeah. Charlie DJ. Charlie Skywalker just thanked me for the invite, and I was just going to tell him I was glad to see him here. And I put up a response, and that came out with mixed results. So DJ, glad to see you here. And Charles Westcott, glad to see you here. Chris King, and I'm going to try and pronounce this right because it's Apotheosis Betts. Glad to see you here too, buddy.
Yep, I'm glad you're all here hanging out with us.
Yep. Some I tagged, and that's why they're here, and a few others. Hope to see you here again next Monday.
But I've been trying to get some interviews with some authors, and finally got, after a couple months, got Disney publicists to start getting back to me.
Yeah, who was the latest one that you just said that you did? That did the Myth and Fables.
That was George Mann.
Yo, that's going to be a straight up video on your channel?
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be in my playlist.
It's about an hour long.
I don't do just audio. I mix in some YouTubes in my playlist, my daily playlist. Like right before we was here, I'm also a patron of Miss Shannon's Postcards from Galaxy's Edge. And she did a Patreon only conversation she only got 2 patrons. So I got to sit with her at 6:30, like 3 hours earlier this evening. And that was a hell of a lot of fun with her. She is so much fun.
Well, thank you, Beth. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and that you think I did well. So, it's just really I'm always overcritical of myself, and that's just the way I am. But
here, Chris King, you want to know what Charles's podcast is? It's Conversations, spelled as I said. Look, check my daily playlists. You'll find them. Or hit me in that Twitterverse in the DMs. I'll share anybody I listens to. Want you to give a listen to too, not just for me. Or hit Michael. He's got him in his playlist too.
I sure do. But Rural Farm Boy, he has a small playlist. I taught him secrets how to get his playlist extended. But so I was trying to get some interviews set up or whatever with some authors, and finally got in the works. And she sent me a message, and I said, I'm actually going to go on a vacation because that's what I went to St. Louis to go see my my buddy play some guitar.
Wait, she? Well, that's not George Mann. You maybe want to get a spoiler? Who's she?
I didn't say she. She. Me? Are you talking about?
No.
The publicist.
No. Oh, gotcha. All right.
But, I was talking about the publicist, and she was finally getting back to me and said, do you want to come can you do an interview here and here? I said, I'm going to be away on vacation. Then, and she said, okay. And then
I thought you meant author. She.
No, and then she broke then my dog broke my computer. So I was using a small computer, So I'm waiting for months and months to get interviews with these authors, which I don't know if I'm going to have a shot at getting, because they had to look at my YouTube and everything, and look at my social media, see what is that they do, and finally get them to do it. Sorry, I can't do it. I'm going to be on vacation. Well, how about here? Okay, that sounds great. Oh, my dog broke my computer. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to be up and running next week. Well, it took a little bit longer than next week, so it took about a month. And now I'm up and back, and I sent her a message, and the publicist, and she sent her a message on Friday, because that's how it was last time. It took forever, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, right now. Here you go. This is when you can do it. I said, I don't know what you're doing. I can do it here and here and here. And then she sent me a message back. She was on vacation, or she was away at some festival, book festival, or whatever the hell she was doing. And said, all right. And then I don't check my text messages or my emails on the TooMedToo channel, because I have nothing to look for it. I checked it this morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and she sent me a message on Saturday right after she said she couldn't do anything. So I said, oh, shit. And then I texted her back. I was like, sorry, I just got this. Didn't hear anything back from her all day. And then she said, hey, he can do it if you want to. And it was about an hour from when she was doing it, and I was still at the doctor. I still had to come home, get everything set up, and get ready to go. And,
Oh, holy crap. JG Clark's Blue Sabers in the house. How do, JG?
JG, how are you doing? Thank you very much for stopping by.
Yeah, he just got his show up and running. He got a new co-host. Her name's Jessie.
Okay, well, because you had a show and put out a couple episodes back a few months back, right? Because I know you did, because I watched it.
His last show. Yeah, his last show was right before Celebration happened, and then he was gone for a long time. Been missing him in my playlist. Heard him on Tatooine Sons a few times doing a segment, but now he's coming back strong, and he's a neighbor to me. He lives down there in Pittsburgh, just a little bit southwest of me. Glad to see him here.
Yeah, so like I was saying, trying for months and months and months to get something, and then all of a sudden it was have this one set up and call. Okay, we got you. Can you do an interview in an hour? And of course, my answer is yes. I had plans that I had to break, but that's what happens. They weren't important plans. It was just my buddy taking everything from all my stuff from my motherboard and switching, or not switching, putting everything from my old computer into this new computer, which I can live without that for a little while longer. To do that interview with George Mann, so I thought that was pretty good. But he's another guy that was a Star Wars fan, down to earth. Not it's great. Like I was saying, to meet these people that are Star Wars fans that are now becoming actors in the movies, or writing books, or Filoni, or everybody that's in the story group making the content, or what have you, than just somebody that's an actor that's now playing a part in a Star Wars movie. I'd rather have, and not saying that they're not, but I'd rather have a Star Wars fan that likes being in the movie and is going to be happy to do, interviews and come on to somebody's YouTube channel that only has a couple hundred subscribers and is only going to get, 50 or 60 views. If he's lucky, with 10 or 12 people that were in the chat earlier, and sit there and spend an hour with you talking. Most of your people that are actors that just happen to be in a Star Wars movie probably aren't going to be, that excited or that willing to do it. So that's why, make Star Wars friends.
I think there's maybe a few more than maybe you're thinking, because give a listen to Radio to the Car with Doug Brooks, where he got to talk with Myrna Velasco and with Christopher Sean, and they're also Star Wars fans, but they lent their time just as Dominic did tonight, and they're just as happy to be included for what folks are doing, just like you did tonight, Michael, with Dominic. Give a listen to that, and that makes this, in my mind, a little bit bigger, if you take my meaning.
Mm-hmm. More meaningful, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking to somebody that has a smaller role. Like he said, he's a working actor.
As is Christopher Sean,
but he enjoys it and loves it.
And they do too.
I've met people. Being in New York City that are actors that are good at it, but don't like doing it, but they do it because it pays the bills. Where just think it's more important to, I don't know, like what you're doing, but.
Wow.
What question would I ask a true fan to prove actual validation? Well, your question's flawed, because I'm not going to question anyone's fandom.
No.
Because me, who sits here like a nerd and as happy as a pig in shit because I just got to talk to this guy who's, featured and Star Wars TV show that's coming out, doesn't mean that my enthusiasm and love is any different than, the person that tells me all the time, oh yeah, I love Star Wars. Those movies are so great. And you start talking to them and their face just glazes over because they have no idea what you're talking about past, Darth Vader's black and Luke Skywalker was a Jedi, and Princess Leia was Carrie Fisher, other than that. But
I'm trying to keep an eye on the live chat. This is fun. Chris King, how many times has Maul died? I just gave you the answer, buddy. He died once in Rebels. Only that one time.
Well,
Apotheosis bets. Oh, apotheosis bets is just putting things all over the place. All right, Michael, what's your thoughts? We've been going 90 minutes.
Yeah, is there, I mean, that any news that's going on?
Oh, there's going to be all kind of news come tomorrow.
Yeah, there's going to be news come tomorrow, but that's not me. So that's, I mean, I can sit on here for another 5 hours and BS about whatever until, we find out. We still don't know. I mean, we found out from him, as far as he knows, Disney Plus is hitting at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is our time, and midnight in California. All around it's hitting all the same time, but still no one knows what's happening. Is everything on there? Or is it going to be, like Netflix does, where it hits midnight and everything's on there and you're good to go? You can turn on the Mandalorian and start watching it. Or is it going to be where, like Hulu does it, and Hulu has times. Different shows start at different times on Hulu. So, are they going to do 9 o'clock at night? No one's really done anything yet. And no one really has a definitive answer with the whole time thing too, because Disney Plus website or something clock someone showed that has the 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, midnight Pacific Time, but CNET came out with an article today, this afternoon, I think it was, saying that Disney Plus starts at 12:01 East. Now, I don't know if that was Pacific Time or Eastern Standard Time. It didn't say; it just said 12:01 a.m. So that's once again, we really don't know anything for sure. They're not saying anything. I get my for free with Verizon, but I can't order it until tomorrow. So even if it starts at 3 in the morning or 6 in the morning or whatever it is, see, I don't even remember what he told me now. If it was 3 in the morning, we get at 6 in the morning or whatever, because it's just everyone throwing around different times. I get mine tomorrow for free, but I can't order it until tomorrow. You got to wait till the 12th. If you want to do the bundle, with ESPN and Hulu, you have to wait till tomorrow. So,
well, I know I'm waking up tomorrow morning. I'm going to go back there in the kitchen and fire up my radio and see who's having breakfast with me before I go to work. And
all right, Charles, have a good night. Thank you.
Yep, Charles is off and away. I'm going to go see who I'm having breakfast with, who's going to ride to work with me, and come Mandalorian, I'm not going to go and give it out a watch till I get home from work. And that's for the 4:30 our time, PM, Michael. And we'll see what happens after that. So maybe I might gotta go and give the Twitterverse a little bit of a rest.
I think we should probably open up a gift or two.
Oh, what do you got?
Anthony, I still got so much shit, dude. I haven't opened anything since before Force Friday because I didn't have my computer, so I was like, I'll wait. I got a case of Funko. I got a case of Funko Pops. Every Funko Pop that came out for Force Friday, and I don't even collect the goddamn things. It's just sitting there hidden in the stairwell, so my girlfriend doesn't see it. I have all the Black Series that are still sitting over there. I have
jeez.
Black
How
Series.
many Black Series? How many Black Series?
What are there? 8 Black Series?
Okay.
8 Black Series plus
How
all the
many?
Black
How
Series.
many Funkos?
20 some Funkos.
Oh, holy shit!
All the Funkos that came out on Force Friday, and then I have all the Black Series that came out. Then I have the Black Series that came out. I actually opened up 2 or 3 of them already. Oh no, hang on. All right.
What?
I'm coming. I'm grabbing these real quick.
Take your time.
I was bored the other day, so I opened up some. I'm not bored. I have all this shit laying around, so I made a couple small videos that I haven't put up or posted yet. But I'll show you guys this real quick.
Well, there's a couple more new things.
I opened up this guy. It's the Mandalorian, carbonized.
I'm hoping to win that Mandalorian Black Series from streaming Star Wars.
And then we got the Jet Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
In the white box. We have the Sand Trooper Funko Pop. Let me see that. And then we have Boba Fett, an older one. And this bad boy. I forgot about this. I order so much shit I don't even. Well, because I mean, when I say hide, I mean just put in places my girlfriend can't find. Not,
Well, you missed my post in that live chat. Is Han Solo already told you and taught you? Women always find out the truth.
She found. So always. I have. So did you see what that was, Anthony? And everybody else in there?
Yep. Oh, that's the Sith Trooper?
That's the Sith Trooper.
Gotcha.
From San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, Comic-Con exclusive. Gotcha.
Yep. With all the...
Ain't many of them.
With all the things. Well, no, it's, my girlfriend found a box of something. I don't know what it was. I have it's a New York City apartment, so it's, I don't have a lot of closet space, so I have one of the portable, I don't know if you call it an armoire or whatever. It's got 2 hangers that come off the side to hang clothes on, and then a couple rows of to put clothes in.
Does it have doors?
Nope.
Does it got doors? No.
Nope.
Well, it's like a doorless armoire then.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's got a cover on it, but
yeah, still the same. It's an armoire.
Yeah. And she was putting laundry away on my side, and she said, you have a box of something in here? I said, I do. Nope. I said, oh, it must have fallen in there. I'll get it later. And then behind it, there was like 2 more. Well,
Han told you, women always find out the truth.
They're obviously not hidden that well, because my other great hiding spot is just behind the couch. I just dropped behind the couch.
You are so found out.
My other hiding spot, which she still hasn't figured out, and I have no fucking idea how, because I even told her what it was, and she couldn't figure out what I was talking about. My couch lifts up, and underneath there's storage, like to put bedding and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it is packed full of unopened books and boxes, and I'd be okay if my computer didn't break. I would have been able to open stuff up, but
maybe you got some old Jedi text in there too. Maybe.
Yeah, I have books from New York Comic-Con when I went.
Old Jedi text,
I was with Mike Pappas and Emily Lind, and we were walking around, and I was like, oh, and I went to go meet this author, and I bought the book so they could sign it, even though I already had the book at home. And then another one, and then another one. Yeah, so I have a bunch of books that I have to. One or two of the books still weren't out yet, so I was able to cancel it off of Amazon. But still, I was buying books, so now I have duplicate books. A couple of them weren't expensive; they were only $8 or $12 or whatever. The one was "How Not to Get Eaten by Ewoks," which is a really good book. It's you'll see it when I do my unboxing someday.
Yes, I know who you're talking of. They were just on Tarkin's Top Shelf with Becca and Mark.
Oh, he is a really funny guy. I talked with him
remember.
for about 20 minutes. He drew me some pictures of an Ewok. He drew one of somebody beforehand, and it was horrible. And then he drew one for me, and he's like, "You want me to draw one?" Last one was really bad. I said, "You know what? I think you can draw another one because it's probably going to be better your second time around." He's like, "You know what? You're probably right." But Christian, I can't think of his last name right now. I think
From where?
He's the one that wrote the book. How Not to Get Eaten by Ewok.
Christian Blavel.
Yeah, he actually
I
lives
was
here.
just going to look him up. Go ahead.
He actually lives here in New York City. And I had a long conversation with him because I have already opened Be More Vader, Be More Yoda. They're actually. Do I have those here? Yeah, I got those right here.
Yep.
I got those right there. And then to go along with them, still not opened yet, I have Be More Vader and no. I just said that.
Them are the older ones. The first couple.
Be More Lando and Be More Leia, maybe?
Sounds about
I don't
right.
remember. Well, anyways, he wrote all those books. And, I was just sitting there talking with him. So I have those other two books I have sitting in my pile of stuff that I haven't opened up yet. And then I have the Be More Ewoks. It's not my fault, Anthony. I got a book coming tomorrow.
Well, if it ain't your fault, whose is it? Got to be somebody's fault.
It's got to be somebody's, and I can't tell you who. I mean, whose fault is this? I was getting ready to go to the doctor, and I stopped to buy a drink.
Oh, geez, what did you do?
I stopped to buy a drink. I didn't do anything, but these were sitting there, and I bought my drink, and I got ready to walk out, and I was like, "What are these?"
Yeah, what are they? And you found that where?
Just a little bodega. Oh.
I can remember when there was things like that out for Phantom Menace.
We got another one right there. Yeah, so I picked those up. I said, "How much are they?" He said, $2. I said, $2 each. I was gonna try and wheel and deal with them because he only had 5 from there. I was gonna be like, "What if I give you $8 for all 5?"
Well, I know whose fault that is, and I'll let the confessor confess himself. I ain't gonna go name no Michael Condon names.
Okay, yeah, don't, because he'll probably get upset with you if you do that. He's kind of mean sometimes. But all right, let's see. Let's open up. Should we open up something else? All right, who's in? Who else? Who do we have in here?
Oh, I'm back on the StreamYard.
Charles, you want to open up something? And Bets, you think we should open up something?
DJ's still here. Charlie Skywalker. DJ's still here. And Apotheosis Bets. If I'm saying that right, please let me know if I ain't.
Yeah, that's what I said. Bets. I don't got time for everybody's all full name. You know, I got people that I work with. Not everybody, but a lot of people I work with have. Everybody's got a nickname. Pretty much, yeah. I don't know. Some people, everybody.
Bodega, say it with me. I just did. All right, what you got you want to open up?
Well,
We still got a couple more friends left in here. pick an interesting one.
Okay, we have
Something maybe from Target, because I seen the bullseye.
we have a Target and we have an Amazon. All right, who's gonna? Someone gets to pick. Do we want to open up Target or Amazon first?
DJ, pick it. Don't load it to me.
And if you guys wanted to be in here, Charles and Betts, you could be in here chatting with us too if you want. All I gotta do is it's as simple as me sending you a link. This new StreamYard. I send you a link and you're right there.
Yeah, DJ, this is what the fandom's supposed to be. Oh, now we got somebody new. Exile Vision.
Oh, Exile Vision, how you doing or how you doing, buddy? I know Exile Vision. He's a gamer and collects Funko Pops, I believe.
All right, Charlie Skywalker. What's he opening? Target is specific, and that's from Betts. Yep, Charlie says same. There you go, Michael.
What?
Your aim's Target. What I see in the live chat, they say go for Target.
Okay, so here's our wonderful Target box.
Here we go. What's in the Target box? What could it be?
There's a lot that it could be. We could be Black Series. We could be Funko Pops.
Yeah, I got the only Target nearest me up here in rural western Pennsylvania is nearly about 15 miles away. So I ain't been, just for myself, I ain't been to the Target in many a year. A long spell. Can't just imagine what all they got.
And we have another box. Thank you.
Whatever could be in that small brown box.
Well, now we know what it is. Now it's a Funko Pop. Well, it still could be a Black Series, maybe. It could be a Black Series.
I know it ain't a hot. I know it ain't a Hot Toys.
Listen, they're definitely not worth it. They're definitely not worth it. But I have, well, none of them are worth or valued as much as a Hot Toys. But I have a couple of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives from, back a long time ago that are $150, $200 probably. They're not worth that, but that's what they sell for. Hot Toys will go for 120, 130. The bottom line starts off. But
yeah, if that was a Hot Toys in there,
I'd probably get in trouble if I started doing some Hot Toys.
If that was the Hot Toys in that box, you'd have Haas Burkhardt sitting right next to you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pop. It's another Sand Trooper.
Look familiar?
Did you show one a little bit ago?
I sure did.
Yeah, you did.
Somebody's got some doubles.
Or maybe as a giveaway of one other subscriber of TooMedToo later on.
Probably, because, that's what I do. It's...
Yep.
For those couple people in here that don't know, I'm trying to get my subscriber count up to 1,000 so that I can mobile live stream. So then when I go around at San Diego Comic-Con, or not San Diego Comic-Con, Star Wars Celebration, Anaheim, I am going to have 1,000 subscribers. I can do it mobily, so I can take my camera or my phone and put it straight up. And then, like I'm talking to you guys, instead of saying open up the Target box or open up the Amazon box, you can say, go down that aisle or talk to this person or talk to that person. And if you can't be there at Celebration, I can be there, going around with you guys.
Yep.
Well, that's the only thing. I need to have that 1,000 subscribers. Otherwise, Amazon, YouTube won't let me subscribe. Or won't let me. I'm not used to the streaming so much. Okay, so we got another thing in here.
Along with the Sand Trooper?
No. This is different. I meant another one. This is the Amazon box.
Oh, you're doing both boxes. All right.
Yeah, I might as well keep opening stuff up until I got time.
You're gonna have to open them up sometime. Why not now?
Oh,
Charlie Skywalker thought that Sand Trooper he was gonna open up was gonna be Star Wars underwear. That was good. I pulled that from the live chat.
Star Wars Commando style.
That's great.
Can you see that?
I gotta go back to StreamYard.
Was that enough?
An Inquisitor?
Yeah.
And it says second sister. Now, well, that makes me wonder. Is that from Jedi Fallen Order?
This is from Fallen Order.
Okay.
This is from Fallen Order. The other one that comes with it is
she's included in that story along with the Ninth Sister.
Well, I don't know what the hell they did because there's a bunch of pops and a bunch of Black series that are coming out, but so I belong. This is one of the things that pissed me off. You remember when I ranted about Hasbro Pulse because I wanted to get the Boba Fett and the Sith Trooper San Diego Comic-Con, and then I spent $50 for the membership just to get free shipping and to be able to buy this stuff, and it sold out like that. Now I understand it's not the fault of they're just selling leftovers. Well, I'm paying for a subscription. I should have first choice, not just the people that don't have it.
Is it just me, or did Eric Struthers run into the same damn problem?
He ran into the same. Everybody ran into the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I heard
I got mine.
Places.
I got mine. I couldn't get the Boba Fett, but I got mine the second day on the regular. Anybody can do it. You don't need the membership one. Well, I shouldn't have the option on the second day. All those ones for you don't have a membership should go to the membership day. And not just because it's what I have. I'm paying for a membership to buy your overflow. You shouldn't cut the overflow in half so that people don't have the membership can buy it. It just doesn't make sense. But you know what? We're stupid and we like to collect. And, I probably won't do it again because I could take that $50 and put that to the pop. It costs $30 anyways, and cut that $50 in half to make it $25, and go buy one of them for $55 on the secondary market. Not the Boba Fett. Boba Fett's about $85 or $100.
Yeah, I don't miss my collecting days no more. I did have a fairly decent collection, and that's been, oh boy, that was been quite a few years ago. And all them things I had, everything from when I was a kid, just like Dominic was talking about, had original action figures from 77, 78, all through Empire Days and ROTJ and some of the Dark Times and some of the ships and stuff. Yeah, I had a bunch of different things, and then collected up a bunch of different things through all the prequel stories. That's a different story for a different time, but that collection I had, that's done long gone now.
Yeah, I have a box hidden behind the couch that is probably 4 or 6 Black series.
And what's in that box?
I just don't feel like opening that up now because I got all that other crap I got to find homes for. But I have one more box and then I'm done opening for the day.
Oh, holy crap!
Oh yeah, but that's what I was saying. So I try and do like little things. So when I get to 400 subscribers, I'm giving away. They have their choice of the Funko Pop, Boba Fett animated series 1, or if they want a Black Series, I have a couple extra Black Series Sith Troopers. Just the regular ones, not the special editions or anything. Just as a thank you, and try and get people to subscribe. Why not? It's so hard on Twitter to get anyone to subscribe to YouTube because YouTube's where all the bad people are. YouTube's all the garbage content. Why would they want to do it? And that's why I try and explain to people. It's like, just subscribe to me. You never have to watch. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm not doing it for the views. I'm not doing it for the hours. I'm doing it to get that 1,000 so I can take my phone or my camera. See, then I get to buy. If I can do that, then I can buy a camera for just a special camera just to go walking around with. But the one I want is you can buy them for starting somewhere around $250, $300. The one I want is like $600 or $700.
Taking a peek at the live chat. Apotheosis Bets. He said some of the dark times that I got it. I'm wondering, I'm an OG fan. I'm an original generation fan. That's you about my age? Maybe we're the same. Or nearly same. Chris King's still here too. He says my collection started with Power of the Force and ended with episode 3. And he worked at the KB Toys back then, so he got just about everything. Oh, I so miss KB Toys. There was so many things that I got after Return of the Jedi. I was out of like a couple years. There's so many things I found there, so many action figures. Found the Y-Wing that I had, the TIE Interceptor there.
Yeah, that's just going back real quick. I can't talk. Chris King, I don't think you were in here before, and you haven't been here.
Yeah,
I didn't start collecting until last year at New York Comic Con because I was with a few podcasters and a few collectors in our community, and walking around with them all day, and came home and said I'm going to buy a couple things. So I got like the AT-AT driver because from my childhood that was something that I didn't go out and get all of the big well-known main characters or whatever it was. I picked out a couple that I liked, and then I was like, oh, well, this one's really cool. I'm just looking at it right now. It's like, oh, this Biker Scout's really cool. I'm going to go on eBay. And it's like, I spent a lot more money than I should have because I could have got a lot of them for about half the price if I just knew what I was doing or talking about on eBay. Just, you're looking at eBay sets its own prices. So if everyone's selling something for $80, but it's really only worth $50, nobody's putting on there for $50. They're going to put it back on there for $80. To sell it.
Was Grosso one of them folks you was running around with that day?
Yep.
Because he's a collector. Yeah, he would be able to aim you in the right spot.
But
he knows what's what.
I wasn't going to go around asking, for what should I pay for this? What should I pay for that?
He'd let you know. You can ask him.
No, I know. But if it was, that was like Araj tells the funniest story where he was going to get the Millennium Falcon. but couldn't decide if he wanted to get it or not because the guy wanted $20 for it, but it was missing one of the hatches.
Which Falcon? The original, or the more recent one, like the one that Struthers got?
No, like the original.
Okay.
But it wasn't worth anything because it was beat up and it was missing a piece or two.
Or
so
3 or 4.
Yeah. So it was like 20. It was like the guy wanted $20 for it. He wanted to give him 15 or like something stupid like that. By the time we went back later on that day, it was gone.
Whoa!
But yeah, that was when they came in from California, to go to Comic-Con pretty much.
NYCC,
yeah, that's where you know the story of how they it's like I joke around like they found me. I was their prize. They found me. They saw I had 3 videos on YouTube. They found one of them about me talking about how I went to Good Morning America and watched Solo, the Solo trailer, and how worried I was because there was no one there. I was the only Star Wars fan there. I was the only one there for the trailer. There was one other guy that was wearing a Star Wars shirt that was a Star Wars fan, but didn't know Solo movie was coming out or didn't know about the trailer or anything. So I left and, I'm walking, doing the video on my phone. And I posted it, like that's what they found, where I was just saying, if what's showing there at the trailer is what's going on for the movie, I'm kind of scared. Using rational thinking. Because people that are Star Wars fans wearing Star Wars t-shirts don't even know about the movie. But of course I had the Star Wars fan in my head going, oh no, it's fine. It's going to make $1 billion. It's fine. But okay. So I'm sick of holding this box. We have one more box. I really have no idea what it is. It's kind of beat up. I don't know how long it's been sitting in the pile for. So I hope it's not anything bad that, or how long it's been in the pile. Could be sitting over there in the pile since the beginning of summer. Some of the books I have sitting over the pile are from, last Christmas. Okay, what is it gonna be? Before I look in there, anybody got any guesses? I mean, it's a pretty big box. We got it's kind of heavy. It's a few pounds, I'm gonna guess.
Let me take and see what the live chat has to say. We still got, holy crap, 6 watching. Yeah, Charlie's still here. XL Vision's still here. Apotheosis Bet's still here. Funko Pop's still here. Rebel Scum is still here. James,
I think Rebel Scum came back.
He says
he's
that
probably
he says that
like me though.
Pop
Sometimes
is rad.
there's
which one?
Humana.
Yeah, that Funko Pop was a little back, and we pretty much bullshitted about a bunch of different things between then and now.
Which Funko Pop? We got 4 of them we're talking about here.
I'm gonna go and guess he's gonna say the second sister's the one he thinks was.
Well, the second sister,
rad as kids say nowadays.
I had the Sand Trooper already open, a different one. I didn't know I had 2 of them, so that's one of those is probably going to go in the donation giveaway pile, aka I need people to follow me, so subscribe. The Sand Trooper. Okay. All right. So what do you have in here? I don't know what it is. I'm just going to open it. No one wants to guess what it is.
Yep. Busted open. I'm going for Black Series. If I'm going to pick a thing, I'll think that. So show me how wrong I am.
Oh.
I'm very wrong. It ain't no Black Series. It's something different.
Well, if I asked you if you thought it was Star Wars related, no matter what your answer is, you got a 50-50 shot.
Well, Star Wars related, that's pretty deep and wide there. How can you narrow it down in some sort of kind of way?
Well, that's what I said. If you said yes or no.
Oh, if it is
because there's two things.
There's likely that it might not be. And I only seen an image or two for a minute, and it ain't related. What's that from?
This is Zoltar. This is a Funko Pop from the movie Big.
Oh, it's the machine that makes him younger. Oh, yeah, I lost that one.
And so I don't know who's in here. Funko Pop. We got some Funko Pop collectors in here, I think. When did this come out? I want to know. I mean, it's fine, but the box
the date's on there somewhere.
The box was beat to shit, and it wasn't for me. So if I can have them send me a new one, that's not bad. It's worth a phone call later on just to see. Damn,
was that the only thing in the box?
Oh no, there's something else. That's why I said you had a 50-50 shot.
So that means half the box could be yes and half the box could be no.
Well, that's why I said
Well, I'm going to go and guess that the other half of the box ain't Star Wars neither. And I'm wrong. Oh, get out of here. Oh, you're going to take that apart piece at a time. Because there's some folks that already did, and there's some sweet knowledge in that there book.
Well, I was thinking, Anthony.
About what?
A lot of things.
Among others.
I was thinking about, so we have this book here. Okay. It's very
nice. Somebody
nice.
that's you and somebody that ain't me.
And then I talk to you for a minute and say, oh, look at this great picture. Look at this picture right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at that great picture. And
on and off point question, amongst your book collection, Michael, do you have droidography?
I think so.
Is that one you'd go and recommend for a book collection? Because I've been taking a look at it, but I ain't got it yet. And I loves me some droids.
See, we went through this. I have this one, the Han Solo one. It's still in the cellophane. It hasn't gone on the bookshelf yet. I have a coffee table full of books that haven't gone, because that's just whatever.
Yeah, I caught that one at a Barnes & Noble down the road a ways from me. Took a look at, but I took a pass on. And maybe I'll have to go back and take that a look. But lately, droidography's been on my mind. And I ain't quite rightly sure why. Like I said, I likes me some droids. And there's all manner of things about droids in that book. So I might have to go back and give that a relook.
No, Anthony, I was thinking about, I can't get anybody to watch my live streams. I have a Patreon.
We had 10 people here tonight. That I think pretty damn impressive for.
I haven't seen it go over 4 the whole time, or 5.
Your second or no? I was watching that chat, that number. You got to take a peek back in there again real quick. 376 subscribers. There's still 5 watching, and the live chat's still rolling on.
Oh, see, all right.
It's really rolling.
See, because with this new system, with the new software, I don't know how to check things like I could before.
I'm just doing it between 2 windows. StreamYard in one, and then YouTube with the live chat in the other. So I got to bounce back and forth because the YouTube page is still showing you and Dominic from the chat oh damn, nearly an hour ago now. Yeah, the stream's been going for 2 hours.
What do you mean it's showing me and Dominic?
It was. I just grabbed the timeline at the bottom and drug it up to current, and now it's me and you, but that's got to be, that's a little ways ago, and it's still kind of being skipping. And I got the volume turned down on it because I'm listening in through StreamYard.
Oh, Charles just said I gotta go. Need to be up at 4.
Yeah, that was a ways back. Speaking of, yeah, I got to be up around. I usually get up
XL
every
just
day around
said
4:30.
I'm still here,
Yep, I see Charlie.
but I need to close that. So
Chris King's still here. XL Vision's still here.
Oh, see,
Podcast Bets is still here.
it must be on your end because I just clicked on it and it said that I was caught up. But anyways, no, I was thinking about my Patreon's going. It's up and going. So now we're up to 7. So I don't know what happened. We're gaining people right when we're getting ready to quit. But I'll keep talking if anybody wants to listen to me. I was thinking about going with my Patreon and just, my regular page that I have. When I open up like a Funko Pop or two, like that's what I have. I have 2 videos right now that I just need to put on the computer and edit them of Pops and Black Series that I already opened. All right, Charlie, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you liked the video. That's not as important as subscribing. But yeah, I was thinking about like doing a Patreon, and like the video I did today with George Mann, put it on the Patreon first. Like a Patreon exclusive, and let it sit on there for a week. If you want to see it. I have some other authors lined up, or I'm trying to line up. That's where I was hoping Brad would be on here so I could actually talk to him later about the best way to get hooked up with the publishers and the publicists, because I know who a couple of the people have for their publicists, but I don't know who everybody is, and I don't know where to find it. But I mean, all I need to do is ask those questions, and I can find it. Anyways, I can like take this book and change the camera so that I just say, "Hey guys, it's me, Michael, sitting here talking to you." And what does this do? I don't understand why. It's got to be if we have more people here, those 2 on the end. But I can just go like this and say, "Hey, here you go. Let me find a good picture." Well, that's hard to see. That's all right. I can just go like this and be like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have to get the tripod." But just do that. So instead of going like this, I could actually. I wonder if this will work now. Let me try something. I never really thought about this before, because my other camera stopped working earlier. I don't know why. That's what I was talking with Dominic. It wasn't working. So, man, I gotta clean this house.
We're doing science on TooMedToo live YouTube. Well, we're not, the Michael is. Oh, flip cam.
Check that out. That's like Ray. No, but so
I was just
right.
going to say, are you being like Ray? Are you looking for your parents, Michael? Or looking to be shown your parents, I should say. Okay. Hey, there we go.
But I can be like this. Okay, here you go. Here's this picture. You know.
That's it. In the Skywalker saga?
Yep.
Alrighty.
And oh, here's this one. And
Join
go through
me.
go through the Patreon, or go on Patreon and go through the whole book. I mean, maybe not all in one, sitting, because it's a lot of book, but break it up into, for the Patreon exclusive 15-minute chunks. Okay, here we go. Here's the book, 15 minutes.
How many pages
what
total?
we got. And just give you a synopsis of what the book says. Anakin Skywalker, he lived on Tatooine all of his life.
How many pages total in that book?
I mean, I could read the whole thing to you if you wanted me to, Anthony.
No, just flip the last page. Tell me how many pages.
That's what I'm looking for.
Just that I'm curious.
Doesn't have any page numbers.
No numbers. Whoa.
But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, do something
Yeah.
something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out the how I would do the tiers. And I got to figure out too how to fix that, because that's got me all not taking my whole thing. But that was the other thing I got to figure out. On any of you guys that are on here that are Patreon or Patreon subscribers to anybody else, right now I'm not ready to do stickers and T-shirts and whatever else. That's why I belong to some people's Patreons, or that's decided what I give them. Instead of giving them $5 to get stickers every month, I give them $10 to get a T-shirt every 6 months, which is still $60 for a T-shirt, but it's going to cost me $20 off of TeePublic. And so it's basically I'm paying them $40 to get the extra stuff. Like you got the Bad Motivators, their stuff's on there. It's Patreon only. It doesn't go anywhere else.
As most does.
Well, steal his after it's on the Patreon. We'll go on to, after a week or whatever it is, or a couple of days, goes on to the regular.
Some of it, not all of it.
But that's what I was thinking. If I can get going, and I was supposed to have another one or two lined up interviews. Put those on the feed, and then go through the books, and I can go through every book that I have. And if I did one a week, I got a couple years worth. Just doing that for the books, but then what do I charge? And then, no one wanted to come on here and talk today, or be on here. I thought more people would want to be on here to actually chat. So where, I say, oh, hey, what's going on? You want to talk about something that's going on that's important? They didn't want to, but they don't have to have their face on there. They can have a picture on there.
I did go and give that book a look up. That's a fairly thick book, would you say?
Oh yeah, that's why that box was so heavy, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
Well, it says it's 400 pages, so that's a hell of a book right there.
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, could you imagine if I I could sit here in one day and just go through the entire book. Maybe not reading all, but just, going through a picture and skimming it, or actually, telling you what's in there. Pretty much reading it to you while I'm showing you the pictures.
Question for you, Michael, from the chat room. XL Vision wants to know what headset you're using.
This is Logitech 635, 688, 65, whatever.
That's a word that bugs the crap out of me, is whatever. Everything's a thing. I can tell you, if he's asking about mine came from, I don't know if up here in New York you have, what the hell's the name of the store? It's not Best Buy. And it ain't Dollar General, but the headset I'm wearing is like $10 with an inline mic. Pretty cheap. That I hope I come across sounding okay on. Big Lots. That's the store I'm thinking of. You got Big Lots up here in New York? Or something sounds like it? They're kind of like a little bit bigger Dollar General, if you know what Dollar General is, because they're all over the place too. They pretty much sell cheap crap. Well, let's see here, Michael. We're heading towards 11 o'clock, and 4:30 comes early for RFB. That's when my alarm on my iPod wakes me up.
Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to
get up and have some breakfast, listen to a show, head down to the car, and get on down to work.
Probably going to watch some TV. I'm going out to Queens, New York, where my friend was born and raised, tomorrow for the Mandalorian.
I don't envy you, no big city, buddy. Always been a country boy, always going to be a country boy. This here little town I lives in is only population just barely scratches 5,000, and that's a small western Pennsylvania town. Small.
Yeah, I got to
I go walk around Pittsburgh, drives me nuts.
Well, it's I'd hop on the train and be to where he works in a half hour. It all depends on if he drove to work or if he took the train in. And then where did he take the train from? How far did he drive? So,
that's
or
right.
am I just going to hop on the train and go meet him at his house?
That's right. You don't have a car, do you?
Nope.
I couldn't imagine. I think being a train in my mind is for going cross country. That's that's how old school I get. But that's a different thing. It's not a good thing. It ain't a bad thing. It's just a thing. And it's not something I could never nearly imagine being or having to do. But let me see here.
Yeah, I've had about enough of that, and then because I did with George Mann, I was just planning on doing about an hour or a half hour with him. I was on for over an hour.
Wow.
And then I was just finally like, a couple times I was like, okay, we got to cut this short. And then we kept talking, and I was like, okay, we gotta stop, just because I want to be able to interview him again sometime. Mm-hmm. And
we'll post up when you put that on your channel, because that's going to be in my playlist. I'm looking forward to that.
This one,
you didn't put it up yet, did you?
No.
Okay. Post up when you do. It'll be in my playlist for sure.
Yeah, this one I'm probably going to post up on Thursday. Maybe Wednesday. I don't know. It all depends on. I want to try and get a set schedule down, because this one wasn't too bad, but like a lot of the ones before, I would, be talking with you guys and stop and go do something or whatever, and then I'd come back. Well, now that I have these headphones, I can still talk. You can't see me, but I can still talk to you to carry on conversation when I go get a drink or go do whatever. Which changes a little bit because the other ones would just have a minute or two of there was just dead silence because nobody was there was nobody to talk. You guys are typing stuff and I'm going to get a drink. Because I'm still working out the kinks and everything for it. So
take another peek in the live chat. XL Vision knows what I'm talking about, big lots and multiple Dollar Generals, so he's somewhere nearby. And Chris King said his car is currently buried in the snow in central Kentucky. He got snow down there? I ain't got snow yet. Snow's headed this way. But there's no white ground here in western Pennsylvania, not yet. And I'm not looking forward to snow. But when it comes, Mother Nature's rules, not mine. She says what goes, not me. Galactic Pops is here. Where are you saying you're summoned to? He says he feels like he's been summoned. Maybe to your channel, Michael.
He probably heard the rumors of Pops that got opened.
That's what I'm thinking.
Somebody, I'm going to guess Exile, told him, you got to see the shit that he's opening up right now.
Galactic Pop says he got 20 centimeters of snow. What's that in feet, buddy? Or maybe inches, because
8 inches.
Metric.
It's 8 inches.
Oh, you know that's well, yeah, you might know that stuff. Having to cross over with Earth and stuff and such. Metrics gets me all kind of sideways. They tried doing that when I was in middle school, way back in the early '80s. Never stuck on me, and still to this day ain't. Just in my opinion. Alrighty, at 11 o'clock, Michael. RFB's gotta go to bed, or it's gonna be a rough damn day in the warehouse tomorrow. Considering work's pretty slow, and I'm pretty much walking around getting paid to do nothing but listen to Star Wars podcasts, because there ain't no orders to pick. Just waiting for my boss to tell me.
My whole thing is I want to know what's gonna go on. No one knows what's going on yet.
With what?
We think with what time. Disney and Lucasfilm and Disney Plus haven't come out and given an announcement on what time things are going to be. We're going by what
we think we hear.
News articles are saying. What news articles are saying, or CNET did. Like I said, CNET did.
Was it
an article that said? Well, no, theirs said it was 12:01 a.m., but it didn't say if it was Eastern Standard Time or Pacific. I'm guessing that if it's Eastern Standard Time, if it's a magazine or a newspaper or something like that, that's something national or whatever, they're not going to do. They usually don't do Pacific. You know what I mean? Or Central Time, or they do Eastern Time for things like that.
Well, for me, I'm not going to worry on that for myself. I only know that I'll go and take a look and see what comes up in my email, what they send me, and tell me what's ready to go. But I'm not going to be able to go and give that a watch. Even if they do drop it at 3 a.m. our time, I'm still going to wake up and just follow my regular routine and not be able to go give that a watch till I get home.
Well, that's what I said. If it comes on in the morning, that means I can't do Twitter or Facebook.
Without fear of being spoiled, I get you.
Even if I put in words, somebody's going to post something or a picture or a video.
Somebody may.
And I can't watch YouTube. So I'm stuck watching TV and making videos.
Till you're able to watch. I got you. I'll go ahead and brave the Twitterverse tomorrow. And when I see a thing, then if I see something that maybe I'm not looking for, I'll scroll on past it and not go looking for it again until I'm able to get home and see what they got to show us.
No, Chris, I am not staying on until Disney Plus drops because
excuse me.
I mean, would you like me to? If you want to sit here and watch me, watch TV, that's pretty much it. I don't know how much fun that is. My girlfriend, when she gets home from work, I'll have to move this out into the living room.
Chris, he's come on. He wants you to stay on. You got work tomorrow morning, Michael.
No, I took tomorrow off to for the Mandalorian. That's what I was like when I was talking to Dominic. My job, it's nothing great, it's nothing fancy. It's a job that pays the bills, and it's great for now that I'm going back to school. 40 years old and decided I don't want to work in restaurant management anymore. Like real restaurants that sometimes you got to put 80 hours in, or you have to go open to close. Because that's what you have to do, because that's your job. Not all the time, but that's why you make the big bucks. Hopefully that makes it worth it for when you can skate off and get the extra time. And, you get football tickets and hockey tickets and baseball tickets all the time. And maybe, Broadway plays and things like that, after you're established, that makes up for that. Those couple of weeks, you got to do 80 hours or 16-hour days for a couple of weeks. I look at it if I'm going to do management now, it's still not going to be more than 40 hours a week. And I'm not going to be stressed about my job and knowing, because I'm in charge when I'm there. And once I leave, it's not my responsibility anymore. But let's see what else. So, I mean, yeah, but I can't watch it because I'm going out with I'm going over to Mike's house. We should give me $20. $20.
Oh, there's a watch party over at Pappas's.
Yep. It's only him and I for the watch party, but hey, listen, I'm there. What else do you need for the party? So RFB, what could we do with this if you had money to invest?
I was just going to type a response, but I'll just go tell them, yeah, there's one thing I ain't got. It's money, buddy.
I mean,
and most of that is on me for my own reasons.
You can get these nice shirts made up. Got on my Syphilis podcast T-shirt.
Yeah, well, there's a thing. T-shirts to me, just for me, in my opinion, that's underwear. If there's something, if you took a look at my Twitter and my description under my little avatar there that says lives a vintage lifestyle, I don't wear modern day clothes. There's a couple things most of our friends don't know about me that you'd never recognize me in real life as a Star Wars fan, or even a modern day person for that matter. But that's a thing I just like to do.
Like that picture I sent you of yourself the other day. The farmer. The hee-haw farmer.
Oh, that one. I'll have to send you tomorrow. I'll have to send you a little thing that I put together just from my own giggles and laughs on what's it? Yahoo has a thing called Flickr, if you know what that is. It's like a photo sharing sort of site. I put together a thing about my little 4-room apartment here. I can show you exactly how RFB lives, from the getting up and going to work and coming home, and it's not a modern day place. Everything in here looks like 1932. The only modern day things I got in here is a refrigerator from that my landlord, because she owns the place, and the oven right next to it. But this whole building was built in 1911. When I come in here and seen this apartment she showed me I moved into, I felt like I needed them to live here. If there's modern day things, they're on the outside of my door, not in this, not in here where I live.
A
Pretty
pot
neat little
thesis
place.
bets.
Pretty neat little place I like to get lost into and listen to my goofy Star Wars podcasts.
A pot
And then
thesis
come sit
bets.
here.
What are you?
Come sit
I'm
in my
trying.
living room and live stream with all yous lovely folks.
I'm trying to find a pot thesis bets question. What would you do if you had? What could we do with this if we had money to invest? And then all respect. Sorry, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the question. What can we do with what? With Star Wars?
No, I'm thinking your show is what he means.
Oh.
Oh, you can have all the money invest you want. Listeners, watchers, folks in live stream is what carries it, just like every other show. The more listeners, watchers, subscribers you got, that's what carries it. You can go on and on and on. There have been other podcast shows that quit because they didn't have a listenership or a watchership or such. It's about folks spreading word and getting other folks involved. Yeah, that's what carries a thing, no matter how much money you spend on a thing. Just like films and how films are all put together. You could spend $350 million putting together a film, and if it goes and never gets anywhere, ain't about the money you spent. It's about getting the folks involved watching.
Yeah, and I mean, my
Yep.
computer. I needed a new computer because my dog broke my computer, and it was going to be more expensive to fix my old computer because it had a design flaw. So they changed the whole backing of it, or the whole outer shell of it. So you can't even buy those anymore. You have to, you know, um,
Yep. It's always about getting folks involved. Make it even simpler is look like how football works. They don't get to play and pay out all the big money they do if they don't have stadiums filling 75,000 people every Sunday or Monday or Thursday or when the hell ever they choose to go and play. It's all them other folks, and then everybody else watching makes all that money. Not what they invest. It's the return they get.
how much money in marketing would it take? Marketing's not the big thing. I mean, unless you were putting out commercials for the TooMedToo channel and people were hearing it to check it out. It's more of word of mouth or being able to put ads on Facebook and
Even right here. I mean, Alex and Molly do the same thing with Star Wars Explained. Right in the middle of every Saturday Q&A, there's an ad. That just adds on to what they've already started to build and blows them up even more and helps them earn some money. They started it, and the things they add to it just helps them out that much more. But yeah, it's just what you said, Michael. It's
I think
all
they're
about word of
saying
mouth.
how much money would it take to get this show so it's showing up on like that douchebag Mike that does videos. His videos always show up because he makes 5 videos a day. People watch them because they're 2 minutes long. So he's high up there on the algorithm. He's got the algorithm figured out on what he does. Me, I need people watching the show or liking the show, getting more views, more viewership. I mean, I'm gaining, I'm gaining slowly. I'm gaining. I think last month I gained 85 people because on my analytics you can look and see. That's going to go down because one of the days I gained like 20. All right, Exile. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. And remember, I have Jedi Fallen Order started Monday that I'm going to be streaming.
Also, if you're not busy tomorrow night around, I want to say 4:30 in the afternoon, Shannon's doing a live stream on her Postcards from Galaxy's Edge channel.
Yeah, I'll probably check her out because I'll probably be on the train, going to Queens.
I'll be just stepping through the door coming home from work, and I'm a Patreon to her, and I'm not going to miss what she goes and does because she's a lot of fun. And if she's doing it gaming, she is a riot because she holds nothing back when you watch her stream while she's playing Battlefront 2. She is so much fun. So much fun. And then she's doing another one Wednesday. So I got half of my week filled up with live streams. Holy shit. Starting with tonight. A lot of fun tonight. A lot of fun. Was on with her and then the Rebel Scum Boys and now right here.
But I mean, if I got business cards printed up about the TooMedToo channel, that it's about Star Wars and collecting, and I dropped them off at EB Games and some other stores, and got some people watching, and once I start,
it's more about like what you and I do when we post up our plays. It's about what you said. It's word of mouth sharing. That's how things grow. Pass it on from one other to another, and ask them to share that with somebody else, and hopefully they do, and then it brings folks in.
But if I could do, if I had money to grow my subscribers with, business cards and, working on some kind of commercial or advertising that works on YouTube or something like that, where it's, the TooMedToo is not just some guy wearing headphones talking, to the farm boy. That's more of a brand, where I could get my, get rid of yard stream sign. That's $20 a month, and get I have a website. I have the domain name. I have everything all set up and ready to go. I just wasn't going to spend the $20 or $30 it was a month, for nothing. If I had money to put into it, I could get my website up and running. So I could try and get clicks going onto there, which could then get you ad revenue coming back, which you could then put back into it. I could try and get business cards so I could talk to people. I could, there's so many things that if I had money, I could do from a business standpoint, instead of just being a YouTube channel, business cards are $50. How could you compete with Star Wars Theory? I mean, like I can't compete with Star Wars Theory because I don't have the viewers. I have to grow my viewers, and
No, he's well over 1 million, isn't he?
That takes time. Some of his stuff is good, some of his stuff is garbage, though, because it's theories. It's kind of like when your Stoke theory sucks. So I mean, he's in a completely different category. I would need so much more money to compete with him. This isn't really. I don't have the money to make this a business. This is just kind of like
hobby.
This is kind of like a hobby.
Yep. Most Star Wars podcasters will tell you that, and some YouTubers will tell you the same. It's a hobby. I work with a small YouTuber that does his own channel, and he does gaming and like anime stuff. Yeah, he's a small time YouTuber, and that's what he chooses to go and do, to leave the real world behind and get lost in something that's fun because it's a hobby to him.
Oh, trust me. I mean, if I had the money to do it, or a financial backer that said, okay, let's sit down, let's make a plan. We're going to do some marketing. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But it's just hard because I have to go to work. It took Alex Damon 7 years to get where he is, and the help of his girlfriend, or now is his wife. And that's what he does now for, that's his job. He doesn't work anymore. Well, he does work.
She convinced him to do that, to quit his job and say, we can do this as our job. Alex didn't make that choice. Molly talked him into that, and now they're doing it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, I have to go to work. So, I can't make any content on Wednesday. If I do, it's going to be a really short video Wednesday morning, and I don't know if I'll be able to post it on Wednesday. It might be Thursday.
Or maybe Friday. Or
whatever. And then it depends on if my girlfriend, her schedule changes every day with the restaurant and what's going on, and if they have parties, and if she has to stay there, and if she has to talk to people and do things. So, I mean, it's not, I would love to just sit here and talk Star Wars and go through books and read books and
get paid for doing it.
Yeah. And have it be my job. It just doesn't, work that way, because you need, if you see if you actually look at the analytics on the amount of money that you make off of YouTube, first of all, it depends on who's watching you. So if you get 10,000 views or 50,000 views from 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds, or you get 1,000 views or 2,000 views from 40-year-olds, you're going to make more money off those 40-year-olds. Just the way it works. So yeah, there's people out there. There's people out there.
Don't make no money.
Oh, to be a literal post show like this, you want to do a Mandalorian show, but you want to be up there so you can make money off of it, or I mean, to do a show, there's so many out there already just for the Mandalorian that it started when it got announced or after Celebration, and so many more that have started in the last week or two. And none of them are big, huge channels. Like Star Wars Theory isn't saying, I'm going to do a Mandalorian one, or I don't think Star Wars Explains. Isn't doing something. But even if he went and did a spinoff, he wouldn't go and do a spinoff of the Mandalorian for a Mandalorian show and start it new. He would go and do he would just go and he'd put it on his show. There, hop on and talk to me. Anthony, if you want to go to bed, that's fine, brother. He wants to talk to me about whatever this is.
Yes, sir. I think I'm going to cut the stream for now because we're headed for 11:30, and tomorrow's coming up really damn fast. So I will see Ewan's in that Twitterverse, and you're back here next Monday?
Yeah, man. I will actually be on Friday.
Oh, that's right. We got 2 coming this week.
Well, no, I was going to say I'm going to be on. Well, I won't see you on Friday. I'm going to be at the Mandalorian or Fallen Order, the video game.
All right. Well,
so
Friday
I'm going to be
night.
I'm going to be on doing the video game on on
where?
On here. All right, just click it.
All righty. Well, then Friday night after I watch the season.
I'll be at work on Friday, and then I'll come home Friday. I'll probably get on, or I'll just wait till. It all depends what my girlfriend's doing.
Yep. Make time and room for her.
But then we'll go on to, like Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. She'll be at work. I have to work in the morning for a couple hours, and then I'm off. Well,
so on Friday, I will be watching Mandalorian after I come home from work, get my girls, get to spend a weekend with them, and then Friday night, I'm going to be spending a little bit of time in that streaming Star Wars chat room with David and Pete for a little bit and talking all things about what we've seen from Mandalorian for 2 episodes. That's where I can be found at for live streams and any other time in the Twitterverse. Yep, he's asking me sign off, dude. He wants to talk business with you. So you two go talk business, or if he's going to bed, and I'll see you in that Twitterverse and back here next Monday.
All right.
Good night, my Star Wars friends.
See ya. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for stopping by the TooMedToo channel. We've got your fix. And please make sure you subscribe so that we can get to 1,000 and I'll be able to mobile live stream from Star Wars Celebration Anaheim. That is our goal we have right now. I said good day. May the Force be with you.